Hi, everyone. Welcome to the Honeyflow talk show. Of course, every Wednesday night, I interview various streamers. Last week, I just had Jay Chalet on, which was truly amazing, too. And this week, we have some special guests. I'm just waiting for them to come in. We were just on Instagram, so I'm just waiting for them to come in, and we'll definitely, have a great conversation. They're all the way from the UK. It is, of course, Mistress Kush and Blkbeauty70. For all you guys that don't know, they do a variety of, different raids as well. Can you guys actually hear me? I can't hear my mic. So I'm just wondering if you guys could actually hear my mic. Just let me know. Oh, let's see here. Yeah, I definitely can't hear myself. We're going to continue this anyways. But yeah, so they definitely do a variety. Oh, you could hear me. Could you hear it actually on the mic? Because it's not coming through for some reason. It was working, but now it isn't. So we're going to keep it going anyways. So they're going to be here shortly, you guys. And of course, they've done a variety of raids for International Women's Month. They've pretty much been streaming like every day, which is crazy. Gotta fix this camera too. Yeah, they've been on pretty much every day as well. So, okay, let's see. Oh, actually, I just turned up my headphones. That's probably why. All right. So yeah, so they've been doing International Women's Month this whole day, every single day they've been on, which is crazy. Thank you, UK Web Boy and DJ Jen. I see you. We're not sure where they are. I'm still waiting. Okay, here they are. So yeah, they've been doing crazy amount of shows every single day this whole entire month. And they do some R&B raids, Mellow Mood Mondays. They also do some Caribbean raids we're going to talk about and just get more into their history. So let's bring them in because I know it's really late in the UK. It's like almost 10:16 there, I believe. Okay, so I see them here. Let's bring them in. Hey, how you guys doing?
Hey.
Oh, I'm hearing like an echo. I'm hearing some kind of like buzzing.
Buzzing.
Yeah, like a type of buzzing noise. Okay, I don't hear it anymore. Maybe they put me on mute. Hey, Chakra, good to see you as well. Good to see all you guys. Let's see. Okay, I think they're on mute right now. I think you have to unmute yourself.
Yeah.
Oh yeah, I can hear you now, but let's see here. Do you guys hear that buzzing? I hear it a little. Do you guys press echo cancellation in your audio? Maybe if you go to settings and then you go to audio, and then if you click echo cancellation and automatically adjust mic volume, so take off your stereo audio.
Yeah, it's on.
Oh, it is. Huh. Okay, strange. Unless if you guys have a fan or something in your place.
No.
So strange. Okay, that's okay. We're going to keep it going. So we were just talking on Instagram for all you guys that missed it. Just a little bit about their background too and their experience. And I was asking them, just growing up in London, and I might ask the same questions again for those that missed it. But what is London again to you guys? Like what does it have to offer? When people think about London, for people that's never visited, I've never been there. So what does London to you guys again? What does it have to offer pretty much?
London has it has a lot to offer. Like any country it has its ups and its downs. I think the worst thing about London is the amount of young lives that are lost on the streets of London. But it has a lot to offer, especially where your health is concerned, your education is concerned. Lots of places to go and sightsee in London. The weather's not so great.
It's not that bad.
Yeah, isn't it always gloomy?
Well, I don't like the cold. So at the moment it has been cold, it's been raining. A few weeks ago it was snowing. So for me, nah.
Oh man. Yeah. Just trying to fix these headphones here. Okay. Nice. Yeah, and I heard cost of living, and I heard it's really good, like what they do there, like how they subsidize or help people there. That's what I heard. I don't know if it's
Yeah,
kind of Canada as
yeah,
well.
they do.
Free
They
health.
do. I mean, even during COVID, especially for those who are on the vulnerable list, they actually arrange for people to have shopping delivered to them. Um, they arranged for if you needed someone to go out and do your shopping for you, they had people to do that. They gave away package boxes with hygiene stuff, food, cleaning products,
Oh
like
wow.
the whole works. So in that respect, yeah, they are good.
Yeah, that's amazing. I wonder how they could afford to subsidize because there's so many people there too. That's interesting.
But the thing is, like any government that always says we don't have the money, when there is a crisis, from somewhere that money's found. And during COVID, they did help out a lot of people during
Yeah.
COVID.
Oh wow. And you guys didn't have to pay it back because I know here they
No,
helped a lot of people, but now everyone has to pay back like thousands of dollars.
no, didn't have to pay back anything.
Really? Wow.
And they did that, what, every week, for months. For months, they would do it.
Wow. Jen says I'm moving. Known Dreamer, how's it going? Good to see you as well. Thanks for coming through. We got Chakra and Tracy Renee is lurking as well. Thanks for coming through. We appreciate you and everyone else too. If you guys have any questions for them, definitely drop it in the chat too. So how did you pretty much, and I know I kind of asked some of these questions on Instagram, but how did you guys pretty much learn about Twitch? Because I know you started off as mods, right? But how did you just even find out about Twitch?
Selectress Mistress Kush was always on Twitch because she games. So she knew about Twitch way before I did. I came across Twitch during the lockdown, and I was following. Oh gosh, I can't even think of their names now. See, you forgot the name.
I can't remember what they're called.
Strictly Vibes.
That's
I
it,
was
Strictly
following
Vibes
them
sound.
on IG, and they kept on dropping links, and I would click on the link, and it would take me into a stream, which I didn't know at the time was Twitch. And I was actually watching their stream one night, and Mistress Kush was away at my mum's, and she called me, and I was like, "What do you want? Get off the phone." And she was like, "What are you doing?" And I said to her, "I'm on Twitch." And she just burst out laughing. And she said to me, "You're on Twitch?" And I was like, "Yeah." And she went, "Okay, I'll call you afterwards." So when the stream finished, I called her, and she said to me, "Mum, what are you doing on Twitch?" So I told her, and then she said to me, "You know, there's an app." And I was like, "You're joking." And she was like, "No." So when she came home, she downloaded the app for me, and she went, "There you go." And I was flabbergasted. I was absolutely shocked to just see, like, in one place there were just so many different DJs from across the world. So that's how I found out about Twitch.
I was gonna say you're a pretty cool mom because I can't see my mom and me chilling out like that, and my mom just being like, "Oh, hey, yeah, like I totally love this Twitch app." Like I just cannot see my mom. Well, then again, she knows nothing. She doesn't even know how to text properly, so I don't know. So I find it interesting. This is probably the one and only mother duo, you guys, on Twitch that I've seen that really you could tell authentically has like a good relationship and gets along and streams together and does shows and does raids together. Like, how do you guys balance that? Because you said that she was your best friend, but don't you guys want to kill each other once in a while? Like, how does this work?
Um,
All the time.
yeah, I definitely want to kill her. There are times when I just want to just hook her up. But we have a great relationship. We always have. From she was about 6. She was always a daddy's girl. But from the age of 6, we've always had a great relationship. She is my best friend. I tell her everything. There's nothing that she doesn't know about me, and there's nothing that I wouldn't share with her. But she's a bit crazy, so she does drive me.
You're not.
No,
Yes, you are.
I'm saying thank
No,
you.
you're not.
Like, what do
She
you mean
just,
by crazy? Like, let's get into this. Let's get into it. Because I know I bug you guys a lot too, and it's been a lot of fun. But like I just don't see Mistress Kush that way at all. I see her more introverted,
Mm-hmm.
more quieter, just more laid back a little bit. You
Very.
know, it doesn't seem like a lot of things get under her skin easily. Maybe, but you guys say that you always say that she's trouble. Like, in
she
what way?
she actually is, and anybody that knows her, that speaks to her outside of Twitch, and I know there's a few of them in the room right now, they know she is absolutely trouble. She is. Um, you know, I can be sitting there quietly, absolutely quiet, minding my own business, and she'll come along and she'll just hit me or push me. People have seen her push me on the stream.
Really? I've never seen I've never seen that.
Yes, she's pushed me on the stream.
I don't think it's ever happened.
It has happened.
I don't know. Jen's like the apple doesn't fall far from the tree.
It's
And
true.
um, Jen's like she has no behavior. I don't see that. I've never seen that. I don't know. Maybe I'm a bit naive to that, but I've never seen Mistress Kush get out of line. I've seen Black Beauty. I've seen her and her
I've
shenanigans.
seen
And
beauty.
her
Oh
shenanigans a
wow!
little bit. I've seen a little bit, just a little, tiny bit.
Oh wow! You see, I always get blamed. It's always me.
Because it is always you.
It's not. It's not.
Chakra says to creative people, it'll happen. So how do you guys give each other space then? Because that's a lot. Like you guys are doing a lot together. I drive myself crazy, and I'm by myself. Like I drive my mods crazy. I drive everyone crazy around me. Like because I think as a streamer, you want to do well, and I think we could all be a bit of perfectionists in our own right. So is there any times where you guys kind of butted heads, like saying, "Hey, I don't really want to do maybe this raid or want it this way." Like, how have you guys kind of worked that out in your shows together and living together, and and hanging out with each other too?
Um, I think if we didn't have the relationship that we had, I don't think it would go as smoothly as what it does. Um, but I think because we're so close together and we know each other inside and out, we we get on. We can make things work together. There are occasions when I've said to her, I don't want to do that raid. I wasted my time. And she'll say, oh, Mum, please do it for me. But we sat and we spoke about raids that, we both want to do. I'm, I don't know, I'm very protective of what we're building. So I don't want to put in all that work and all that effort only to see what we build decline by being on certain raids. If it's not going to benefit what we're aiming to achieve, then there's no point.
What advice would you guys say? Actually, what I'll say is, how many DJs or streamers have you guys modded for? Do you guys even know? Because you mod for quite a few of them.
Mm-hmm.
Or some maybe you used to, but how many would you say that you guys have modded for altogether? Do you guys even know that number?
I think Kush's has always been higher than mine because she's a vampire. She doesn't sleep.
Wow. Yeah, she does
Um,
sleep. Yeah, I agree.
so hers has always been a high number. I think the most I've modded for is maybe about 20.
Oh,
Um,
20?
and, and I have, like, literally last year I cut off. I stopped modding for a few
Yeah.
because I wanted to. I cut off a few because I needed to. So I'm quite contented with the amount that I have now.
Wow. And how do you guys balance that out between streaming and modding? Like, isn't that a lot? It almost feels like a full-time job, doesn't it? Doing all these things.
Um, Not really, because we don't mod if we know we're going to stream. We've only just started doing a few streams, our own solo streams. But we've obviously stopped that because we've been doing so much in March. But it can work as long as you know exactly what time your DJ is coming on. I mean, if it's a pop up, then um, I've always said to DJs that I'm on for, if you're doing a pop up and you need me, you can just send me a message and I'll come in. But I think personally, when DJs are on raids, they do need their mods to be in the room with them.
Yeah, exactly. It's a lot. Hey, Disco Darren, how's it going? Good to see you as well, and everyone coming through. You, Web Boy as well. He says you're both on your best behavior. And he says it's called Twitch acting. Wow, this person really knows you very, very well. Wait,
No,
UK boy,
no,
is he related to you?
we're not acting. We're not Twitch acting.
You are a little bit.
UK boy?
You're being too normal.
I am normal.
That's so funny. Yeah, I'm just looking here. So, what advice would you give to mods and to streamers as well, like other mods and streamers? Just about modding, what would you say?
Um. Oh gosh. I think mods coming. This is my own personal opinion. Every mod is totally different. But for me, I think mods really need to know um, who they're modding for before they actually say yes to being someone's mod, um, and to protect themselves. That's the big advice I would give mods. It's a bit, unless you know that DJ and you have that relationship with them outside, you know each other, you're in the same kind of places. Um, I would say to mods, protect yourself, because it's so very easy for DJs, not all DJs, but for some DJs to use mods to get them where they want to, and you put in that work with them, and then they turn around and drop you from a great height. That is hurtful. So I would say to mods to protect yourself.
That's interesting. Yeah, because mods really are the powerhouse and the backbone of all of our shows. It's true,
Hmm.
right? And I've seen people like add like 50 mods, and I mean, that really helped them get to partner, right? Just by adding anyone and everyone,
Yeah.
and if it weren't for them, like, the mods advertising and doing everything uh,
Hmm.
for the streamer or DJ, we wouldn't even have our shows. So, yeah, I definitely agree with that too. You have to know the relationship too, like really know the show and the person, and if you believe in it or
Yeah.
not, right? Because I've had mods just drop off too. They're like, oh, hey, I'd love to work with you, da 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 da. And then like a week later, they're gone for whatever reason it is, right? Um, so I think, yeah, it's important for people to really see your show and know what it's about before they even say yes to it. I
Definitely.
Yeah. So what do you think? What are some attributes in becoming like a great mod? What would you say that is?
Um, Support. That's the main thing. Um, if you know that you don't have the time to mod, then don't do it. Don't do it. It's unfair to the DJs. I personally, and I've always disliked it, going into a room and seeing a DJ on the raid and there isn't a mod in sight. Um, I don't know. I think some people don't stay when there isn't a mod because there's nobody to keep that room vibing, nobody to have that conversation. And it's a lot for a DJ to do what they're doing and to also try and mod and call out to people in the stream. So if you know that you can't give your time to sit there maybe for an hour and mod, then don't do it.
What do you think, Selectress Mistress Kush? I always have to keep remembering to say Selectress. Long name, Selectress Mistress Kush. So I always have to keep remembering the new name too. But what do you think as well? Do you have anything to add to that?
Um, I would say just have fun with it. It's not a job, so it shouldn't be treated like one. We're not getting paid to mod. It's just about having fun and bringing a group of people who love music together. And that's how it should be, minus the drama and the negativity.
Exactly. And how do you guys like kind of filter through drama and negativity? Because sometimes Twitch can be like high school as well. I know
Mhm.
people say all the lovely things in front of the camera. I've interviewed many people, but let's be honest as well too, right? Like I always
Mhm.
like pulling out the truth too. Like
Yeah.
there can be a bit of that as well. So how do you kind of like push forward and keep going, you know, when someone says, hey, you should do it this way or that way, or you know, maybe I could ask what your experience was if you want to, you know, share, you know, if you do want to share. If not, that's okay.
Um,
Like especially being female, especially being a woman too, you know, if you've had any experience where it was kind of like people acting like your road manager or telling you you should do it this way or that way, or you shouldn't do it this way, or it's not
yeah,
good. I've had all that too.
we modded for a DJ that did that. Um, when Kush decided, well, when she came up with the idea of the female empowerment raid, she was told no, it's not going to work. Um, there's no place for it on Twitch. Da 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 da. Now she's the type of person you tell her no, you can't, and she'll prove to you, oh yes, I can. Um, so she was told that a lot, and one day she just said to me, look, Mum, I'm going to do this with or without you. I'd rather you do it with me, but if you don't want to do it, I'm going to do it on my own. And we spoke about it, and I said, you know what? Yeah, let's do this. And it's been going now for over a year. It gives the queens a chance to all get together and participate together as one, um, and to give some form of empowerment to other queens on the platform, because queens don't get recognised the way that they should do. And it's a shame because, you know, female DJs are as good as male DJs. So it's a two-way street as far as I'm concerned. But from what I've seen on Twitch, a lot of the female DJs are either pushed to the side, not given that much support from the male DJs, or then you have DJs that will use the female DJs and put them on the rates. Um, Never ever been in their stream, never ever shown them any support. So yeah, it's a two-way street.
Yeah, I definitely agree with some things. Sometimes it can feel like you're on a basketball court. And we love the men, so don't get it wrong. All the fellas, make sure you stay for this conversation as well, right? But sometimes it is that feeling of you're on a basketball court and there's all men, and you know that they're not going to pick you for the team. So you
Mm-hmm.
automatically leave the court. You shoot your basket really quickly. You know, you do layups. I used to do that going to the gym actually, and automatically just walk out because I knew no one would pick me just being a female, right? They want to play
Yeah.
with guys, which I get. But just being more aware, I think the fellas, like being more aware, like rating in, asking people. I've had guys be like, oh my gosh, Honeyflow, like, you know, like, look how many females we put on our raid train. And I was like, dude, you put two out of like 20 people. Like, that's not a lot of females, you know? And I've been told like there hasn't been any woman good enough to enter in a scratch battle competition. And I said, well, it should be a quota. If you have 200 guys entering in a scratch competition, there are females out there. You just need to dig for them. Like Shortcut's wife, she's amazing. There's so many people, right?
Yeah.
That are killing it online in different ways. So the only thing that irritates me is just like, you know, when you see the jealousy, like if a female makes it, a woman makes it, and she's got like a 50,000 following, oh, she just got there because she's pretty or she looks good, or
Mm-hmm.
she just got there because, like, there's always a reason why a woman just got there, either because how she looks, how she entertains, or whatever she's doing. And I don't think that's fair because we also work hard too. What do you
Yeah.
guys think about that as well? Like, what are your thoughts on that? I guess
You finished talking.
like, say if you hear a guy say, "Hey, there's like really no female good enough to enter in a scratch battle competition. There just isn't."
I mean, that's why I started female empowerment. Because I kept hearing statements there wasn't enough women on Twitch, or there wasn't enough women who could play Caribbean music, or women don't have that many viewers to be put on raids with some of the men. So that was what really fueled the female empowerment. And of course, because I was told no, also. But I see it still now. There's a lot of big raids where you'll have big male DJs, and you might see one or two female DJs, but they're only DJs that have a lot of viewers, or DJs who look a certain way. There isn't enough female DJs on raids, even now. And it's interesting because even with it being International Women's Month, you would assume there would be a lot more raids that included female DJs. And still, no, you don't see that.
Yeah, I definitely agree. And there's a lot. There's millions of streamers. I think there's 10 million streamers on Twitch, and there's millions of women. When I started digging, I found hundreds. I contacted, I think, 400 women in 4 days, just trying to find referrals and finding people and spending morning till night for my raid train last year, trying to find women. So it is possible if you really dig for them, right? There are a lot. And then also Twitch released an article last year on Twitter, and it went viral. People were so shocked. It was only the top 2%. I think it was top 2% of earners were women. It was only, I think, one woman. She fell in like 2% of the top earner category for the highest earnings on Twitch. So that went viral on Twitter, and everyone was so shocked and couldn't believe that there was like no women up there, you know? So corporately, that shows that we need more women in these places, right? And in higher places. It's like the corporate world, you need more women in management or more diversity in management. It shouldn't be a quota where you have two people from different cultures because you checked off that quota. Do you guys actually have that in the UK? Like on an application for diversity? Like you have to say what you are if you're a visible minority or a woman? Oh, you do? Okay. Yeah, so it's just being more aware. I think it's good having these conversations so people are more aware of what's kind of happening, right? Do you ever have any guys say to you, "Oh, that's not true. Like you're making that up," or that's not your experience? What are you talking about, Honeyflow? Like, I get that all the time, and I'm just like, how do you say that that's not my experience if I'm telling you this is what I've encountered? So I'm curious if you guys have gotten that too. Yeah. And how do you navigate through that? Like, how do you push forward with your ideas, even if they've been turned down or people have said, "Oh, they're not going to work," or "That's not going to be popular"? Like, how do you keep pushing?
To be honest with you, it doesn't bother me who talks to me on Twitch and who doesn't talk to me on Twitch. You know, there's people that I met when I first came on Twitch, and we used to vibe out all the time. We spoke outside of Twitch, and they decided to take whatever stand they wanted to take. It doesn't bother me. It doesn't bother me one little bit. I can go into a stream and see certain people, and I don't have to say hello to them. I don't have to acknowledge them. And I'm like that in real life, so I'm not going to be any different because I'm on a platform and I'm in a room full of different people. If there's somebody that I don't like, who I don't trust, just like in my real life, I avoid them. I don't talk to them. I'm comfortable where I am on Twitch. I'm comfortable being within our stream. I guess if you want to say that's my safe haven on Twitch. I do go into other rooms, but I'm very particular about what rooms I go into. Um, but yeah, I'm not bothered. It doesn't bother me. I'm
Yeah.
not going to meet them in real life. They don't mean anything to me. So why am I going to get myself upset and twisted over them?
Do you think people are the same like online as they are in real life, or no?
No,
You don't think so at
no.
all?
Definitely not.
I think
Why
some
don't you
people
guys think that?
are um, online warriors. Some people will show people a persona of who they want them to believe they are. And when you meet them in real life or you speak to them in real life and you're around them, it's two different things. Absolutely two different things.
That's what my friends always tell me, but I think I'm a bit naive to that, thinking that people are the same. And they're like, Honeyflow, no one is the same. I'm like, but I think people are legit because it takes too much energy to fake it in front of the camera. Like I'm too old, too grown, and too tired to try to fake anything. So like I kind of wonder, but you're saying no. And Father Damien says it depends. Some are, when I met Father Damien, I feel like he's a real one. Chef PLR, some of these guys, really good guys on the camera or off, same thing, It's great meeting people like that too. So you do like, of course, you do various raids. You guys do. You do King and Queens of the Caribbean, which is the raid that I love as well. Jumping on the Caribbean raid, Mistress Kush does. You do the female empowerment. You also do Mellow Mood Mondays every Monday. You guys, they did R&B, soul playing, like just a variety of raids. What made you come up with the ideas of doing different raid trains?
Um, the first raid train, um, which was called Rhythm, Rhythm and Soul, that wasn't actually ours. Um, we were with a DJ at the time that wanted to do a raid, and we said, you know what, do an R&B raid, and we supported him in that raid taking off. And then after about 4 or 5 months, he gave it to us, and yeah, we put in the work since then. We revamped it and called it Mellow Mood Mondays, um, and I think it's got a lot more attention since we've revamped it, and it's solely ours. We either do raids together or we do solo raids.
Okay, nice. That's awesome. Yeah, so they do quite a few raids. How are you guys feeling after this whole entire month? Because I know I've jumped on board with a lot of your raids this month. You guys have been going nonstop every single day. Like, how are you feeling? Because that could be exhausting. Like, I feel exhausted this month. I don't know about you guys. How are you guys feeling?
Um, I'm tired. I'm tired. I actually said to Kush, I think a few weeks before, once this month is out of the way, I'm taking a break from Twitch.
Yeah.
I just need to put some energy back into myself. But as much as I'm tired, I know that I will see this out because it's something that we both believe in, something that we fully support, and that's the Queens. So, but it's been a lot of fun. I've had a lot of fun along the way. I have to say that. I don't think there's one day that I've said, this was a rubbish day. We shouldn't have done this raid. Da da da. But I've actually had fun along the way. Kush, she built like a Terminator. Hasn't phased her one little bit. Hasn't phased her at all.
Wow, that's crazy. Yeah, and you guys go to sleep so late. I think you're on Eastern Canadian and US like hours. So for all you guys that don't know, the UK is 5 hours ahead of us. And I don't know, she's like a werewolf. Like she stays up till like what, 5 or 6 in the morning? Like I don't know how you must be younger age, girl. Like once you hit our age, then it's over. Oh, I shouldn't say over. I don't want to say over. But you're kind of like an older soul too. Where do you get that from? Because I noticed that you play a lot of music a lot of old school music, a lot of music that we appreciate too. And I don't know if you want to say your age. You don't have to if you don't want to, but I consider you like kind of an older soul. And where do you
Mhm.
get that from as well?
With music, I've never been interested in, I want to say, the crap that comes out now. Personally, I can't listen to it. I prefer old school music, hands down.
Like, what would be like old school to you, like 90s and older or 2000s and older?
I would say 60s, 70s.
Oh, really? 60s, 70s. Yeah, because you seem like you're knowledgeable and, definitely different music and
Mhm.
different genres as well. Do you have a particular favorite genre that you like?
No, that's a hard question. I don't think there's one genre I prefer over the other. I think it depends on how I'm feeling on the day, to what I want to listen to.
Yeah, that's so true. Tara Lee says, I feel the same way about music. Can you guys hear my mic, by the way, again? Because I can't hear my mic at all, which is very weird. I'm not sure why. You guys could hear it, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Mic? Oh, yeah, I can't hear myself. I don't know what I did. I did something. That's okay. We're going to keep it going anyways. Okay, so Tara Lee's is like, yes, I feel the same way. Unknown Dreamer says, I feel the same way as well. She agrees. Chakra says they act like they live in the US. Have you guys ever visited the US or Canada?
No.
Not yet.
No? Really? Do you guys need a special visa? I don't know. Coming from the UK or no? No. It'd be actually, I don't think it would be too expensive because the pounds are like triple our dollars. Like, so if you came to Canada, you would literally be rich. Like, the pound is so, it like kills us. It's worse. It's even higher than the American dollar. I had no idea. So, and keep in mind, the Canadian dollar is 60 cents on the American, which is so bad. So, if you came here, you guys would be rich. So, just to keep that in mind, you'd be getting money back. Um, let's see. So, yeah, I'm still curious. I'm still trying to figure out between the two of you which one's the most innocent. I haven't
Mhm.
figured that out yet between the
I'm
two
the most innocent.
because you're all about the shenanigans too. So, I don't know. For anyone in the chat, who do you guys think? Who's more quieter? Is it Mistress Kush or Black Beauty? I can't figure this out because you guys both seem kind of mellow and laid back.
It's her. I'm telling
It's
you, it's
actually,
her.
I'm the most quiet and the most innocent.
No, you're not.
Yes,
You're
I
not
am.
innocent
Yes, I
at all. No, you're not.
Hmm. And did you guys say you were introverted? Would you guys consider yourselves more introverted
Um,
or a mixture? Introvert,
I think a
extrovert?
mixture. I'd say
For you.
no, for both of us.
No. You like to stay at home.
No, no, I don't. No, that's not true. That's
Mhm.
not true. That's not true at all.
Yeah. So, what are some things you guys like doing when you go out? Like, what's your evening looking like? Like, is it going out for dinner? Oh, hey, hold on one sec. Oh, I think we got. Let's see if I can get this working here. Hold on one sec. Junior, thank you so much for the subscription. Thank you, Junior. They hate the echo. I was trying this echo. They absolutely hate this echo. Jen says I sound like a ghost. But you guys like the echo. Junior from Alabama. Thank you so much. They hate. They absolutely hate the echo. I don't know how loud it is. If it's really loud, Jen's like, no echo. Thank you again, Junior. I appreciate you subscribing 22 months strong to my show as well. Appreciate you guys. If you guys have any questions, drop them in the chat. We are trying to figure out who's more innocent out of these two, who's more quiet, who's more louder. So I'm going to try to get to the tea, the real tea, this kind of tea right here, guys. They say they don't drink tea, but we are going to find out the real 411 because they're putting on their best behavior today. But we're going to find out the real 411. So I'm curious, what annoys you? about each other? What is one thing that annoys you guys? Be honest.
You want to go first?
You can go first.
What annoys me about Mom? I can't. She likes to tell me that a lot. She can't do this. And I would say also the fact that she doesn't see what other people see about her. That annoys the hell out of me. Even with streaming, she's very nervous sometimes when I don't think she needs to do or needs to be. I think she's great on the mic. She's funny as hell. And I think that's things she needs to see in herself, and recognize that she can do a lot more than she does now. And also I want to see her DJing a bit more on Twitch.
Ooh, that would be dope. Seeing Black Beauty.
She did it last Friday, actually.
Oh, that'd be
So-
amazing.
Yeah, that's another thing that she keeps saying she can't do. I mean, she can.
You can. You know, Lady DJ, I think she's 65, 66 and started DJing. And I think that's amazing, you know, on Twitch, her energy. And she's, I think, what? She said 65, 66 DJing.
Yeah.
Isn't that amazing? So DJ Jen says, I have video evidence. Well, I need to find this out because I'm still not believing it. So then what's one thing, Black Beauty, that annoys you? Actually, that was very sweet. I was hoping for more tea. I was hoping for more tea here and I didn't get it.
Okay, let me see.
That was a very sweet comment though. That was very
She
nice.
was saying she's gonna bake me a cake and she doesn't do that. That's annoying. It's my turn. Honestly, she doesn't annoy me that much, to be honest.
Father Damien's like, what is the tea? Maybe you could explain that to Father Damien, what the tea is. It's like getting the 411 on someone, getting the truth, right? I guess that's what the tea is, maybe. Yeah. Like, what's the 411, Father Damien? Mary J. Blige, let me play it for you. What's the 411? Oh, Junior says information that's piping hot. What is this? What's this here? DJ Jen, the smack in the head threat? What's that? Oh, I don't think I want to know. I don't know. Was that throat or threat? I don't know. I don't think I want to know. Jen. Disco Darren says you kind of sound like Friday the 13th. Do I really? Some people really like the echo effect. Father Damien, do you like this? Do you like echo effect? Sorry, I'm going a little crazy with these echoes. Okay, so what's one thing that annoys you, Black Beauty, with Mistress Kush?
Nothing. Be honest.
She's annoying.
She's
It's
annoying.
not explaining
Whoa.
anything.
She's very demanding. She makes demands on me all the time.
Hold on, but you're my mom, I'm allowed to. That's completely different. So you can't put that in the category of me
I
being
can.
annoying. No, you can't.
I can.
I'm your child.
It doesn't matter.
Yeah, it does.
No, it doesn't.
Carry on.
See, you're pushing me
I didn't
again,
push you, I elbowed you. That's completely
but
different.
you're still pushing. Yeah, she can be really annoying. She'll chase me up and down the house sometimes.
Chase you? What did she do? Chasing you?
No, seriously, she does. She'll chase me, especially if she wants me to do a drop. And I'll say to her, no, I don't want to do a drop. She will literally chase me up and down the house until she grabs hold of me, takes me to the mic and says, do my drop now. She's very demanding. She's a very demanding person. Always wanting me to bake her something. There's always something that she wants baked. And she'll come up with the excuse of, Mum, I'm not feeling well. And I'll say to her, like, have a rest or whatever. And then she'll say, but I need a cake to make me feel better. And she won't stop until she eventually gets this cake. But no, there isn't anything that I can say she does that annoys me. She's a funny person, very loving, very caring. She's passionate about certain things in her life. Um, I mean, I hate to admit it, but she is actually amazing. She is actually an amazing daughter.
What'd you say?
I'm not going to repeat it again. Sorry.
Oh, that's sweet. I was going to say what's one thing you guys like about each other, but you're actually complimenting each other too. So that's good. So yeah, I guess I could still say that, even though you did mention a few nice things. What are some things that you guys like about each other, being mother and daughter? That's great because not too many people have that relationship with their. I think that's a special thing between mother and daughter. You know, just having that relationship.
Yeah.
Not too many people are that close, so I think it's
Mhm.
very very unique. You know. So what are some things that you like about each other?
What do you like about me?
Um,
What do you love about me?
no, she said like.
No, but I'm changing
not
it to love. What
No,
do you love about me?
Love.
no,
We'll go with love. That's
See,
strong.
love.
no,
What do you love about
no.
me?
Sorry, I have to take your the first question you gave, which was like. What do I like about her? Um, I like the fact that she's very supportive of me. Um, no, actually, I love the fact that she's very supportive of me. Um, she's always got my best at heart, even if at the time I don't think it. Um, she's an amazing big sister. She's just amazing, especially with her little brother. People actually think that she's the mum and
Yeah,
he's her
he
second.
feels like he's got two moms, right?
He does, and he likes to play us off against each other sometimes. But no, she's been absolutely brilliant. I couldn't have asked for a better daughter. I love her to bits. She's just amazing.
Oh, that's sweet. What about you, Mistress Kush?
Cake, food. Um,
See, she just uses me. You see, that's all she wants me for.
what do I like about you?
No love.
No. You said like.
And I
so,
changed it
no,
to love.
I'm doing like.
No, that's not fair. Love.
What I like about Blkbeauty70,
Wow.
I would say is her determination and her strength. Again, two things that she never sees or recognizes. Don't laugh, it's true. So I think, yeah, those two, to me, is the two that I like about her.
Oh, that's sweet. I like that. So have you guys had any funny moments while streaming that you could think of? Like anything on your shows that were hilarious or fun? Because you guys are about the shenanigans quite a bit.
There's been so many. So many.
Or
So
any
many.
that stand out. Hey, DJ Schmoove as well. I saw you slip in the door here. Thanks for coming through too.
And there's just been too many incidences, too many funny incidences since we started streaming.
Oh yeah, as DJ Junjun said yesterday with the bottle, Mum was pretending to be a whole bartender.
She was. What happened with that?
It was to do with the background scene. So she was acting like she was a bartender and taking orders and doing a whole load of crazy things.
Hey, it looks like we just got a raid in. DJ BB Joy. Welcome, Raiders. I see you. How's it going, you guys? Thanks for coming through. DJ BB Joy. Oh, so many people coming through here. Let's see here. Thanks for coming through. We appreciate you. We got Maya. Okay, we're going to hold that for 1 second. So we got Moonwalker. We got Becky, Maya, Becky. Who else is in the building? Moonwalker. We got Kent, Mister. Just trying to see who else is here. Oh, hey, Quinn Biosh. How's it going? I hope you're doing well, too. Good to see you. Just looking here. Hey, Jen B. I hope you're doing well, too. Great to see you. We got Dream Citadel in the building. and everyone coming through. Sheba Love, thank you guys for coming through. We appreciate you. We got Becky, the original drum, Moonwalker. Again, thanks for coming through, you guys. So right now, in case you guys don't know, we got DJ Surge as well. I'm interviewing Selectress Mistress Kush that has done raids with her mom, the only mother and daughter duo together on Twitch, streaming together with Blkbeauty70. So make sure you guys add them as well. And for all you guys that don't know, of course, they've been doing for International Women's Month raids every single day. That's insane. And they're not the same raids. They're Caribbean raids, they're women empowerment raids, they're R&B raids. Like, it's just been a variety. Lovers Rock had the privilege to jump on board with a bunch of their raids too. So thanks for coming through. Feel free. Make sure you follow them. Follow them right here. Actually, right here. Make sure you guys follow them. And if you're digging the vibe today, make sure you guys follow myself too. That's the only way you're going to see our shows, or else we're pretty much invisible on Twitch to you guys. So hit the follow tab. Thank you again, DJ BB Joy. How was your stream? Another powerhouse woman as well. So thank you guys for coming through. We appreciate you. So we're just in the middle of asking Mistress Kush and Black Beauty, what are some funny things that they've had on their show, like happened to them? And you said there's been a lot. So your mom, you just mentioned when she was pretending to be a bartender. So what happened with that story?
It's actually, I think it's on the end of yesterday's stream. It's one of those where you'd have to watch it to really see all the craziness. It's really hard to explain, but it was hilarious.
Is there anything you could think of, Blkbeauty70? Any crazy, funny moments that kind of had you in stitches? Because you're all about the shenanigans too, both of you together. So you can't play anything because I've seen it. I've seen it.
It's the viewers. It's the viewers. They might say something, and anybody can see I'm always laughing in the stream. If it's not at something someone said in the stream, it's something that Mistress Kush has said to me. But it's just hilarious. There's just so many different times where I've just been in stitches, absolutely just cracking up to the point where I can't speak on the mic. I've got water running out my eyes where I'm laughing so much. It's just been fun. It has been a lot of fun.
Yeah, your voice, some of the comments you make online is pretty funny. Like some of the shows I've been on, and you're like, oh, Honeyflow. But she'll say it like this. She'll be like, oh, Honeyflow. Like that. And I'm like, walking through aisle 2, I'm like, that voice, like, stop saying that to me in my earphones, walking in aisle 2. So, oh, it's like that, isn't it? So yeah, you guys definitely banter and joke. But I still think you're the worst one. I still think Mistress Kush is more innocent than you are, Black Beauty.
Thank you.
No, she's really not. She's really not.
I don't know. I haven't seen anything yet. So
exactly, you haven't seen anything yet.
No one's seen anything if you think about it.
Lots of people have seen things. What do you mean who? DJ Jen knows the truth. Unknown Dreamer knows the truth. Chakra knows the truth. They know she is trouble. She is trouble. She looks innocent. She comes across innocent, but she's not.
Oh man, HQ Gunner, how you doing? Good to see you, Becky, and everyone coming through. Thanks for coming through, DJ BB Joy. How was your stream? I hope it was great too. Thanks for coming through as well. Yeah, Unknown Dreamer says there's always something funny in their streams. And oh, UK Web Boy says was a hot mess yesterday. Like on your show, I guess.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. So what are some disaster moments? Like, can you think of any disaster moments that you've had?
Disaster. I don't think we've had any.
No, like equipment breaking down or a power outage, like a tree falling in front of your place, like myself, and a power outage, like nothing major like that?
No.
It's usually just the usual tech issues.
Tech issues?
Annoying.
Yeah.
But no, nothing major.
Can you
Touch
think of
wood.
nothing major? Can you guys think of like your most memorable moments then on Twitch?
I'll say the first time we streamed,
Yeah,
definitely.
yeah.
I'll say on Friday, Mum's birthday raid as well, when she streamed.
I was pressured.
He wasn't pressured.
I was
He
pressured.
didn't
I
have
was
to.
pressured. I was pressured. I was definitely pressured. So last week Friday was my birthday. Um, last year Mistress Kush wanted to give me a birthday raid, and I was like, no, no. This year she went ahead and planned one without me knowing. I only found out a few days before. So she made me a little video with pictures of me and the kids, and it just so happens that I think it was one sunny afternoon, all her system was set up, and I came into the sitting room and I turned it all on, and I was just messing about on it. And she videoed it, and she agreed that no one would ever see that video.
No, the one I put up wasn't the one we agreed on.
No, but we agreed that nobody would ever see those videos. So the little video that she made for my birthday, she actually put that clip into that video. So when we streamed, she played it, and everyone was just completely shocked. Had a few people calling me hot stepper.
Oh, I want to see it. I missed it.
And then throughout the raid, she said to me, "Mum, why don't you go on for a little bit?" And I was like, no, can't do it. She was like, "Yeah, you can. Just do it. You know, it's your birthday. Go on, do it." So I went on for half an hour, and I did a half an hour set, and everyone in the stream, they enjoyed it, which was really, really nice.
Oh, you're gonna have to play it. I wish I had the video so I could play it for you guys because people want to see it while in the chat room.
I'll send it to you.
Yeah, I wonder if I could download it while I'm on stream here. It's my Wi-Fi is horrible. Okay, let me know where you're sending it, and if you're sending it to my
But
Gmail.
what's easier? Where do you want me to send it?
Oh, maybe DJ Honeyflow1 at gmail.com. So what type of video is it? It's a dancing video?
No, it was me DJing.
Oh, yeah, I want to see it. Hey, Melissa Dawn, we got Roots Man in the building. And I saw a few other people that came in here. I'm just trying to look up Music Lover. I see you. We got Yo JD in the building. We got the DJ. We got the Roots Man, Melissa Dawn. And thanks for coming through, you guys. Father Damien, DJ Joy in the building as well. Okay, so if you send it there, I'm going to try to download it on StreamYards and see if it works. Hopefully my Wi-Fi it doesn't crash on me if I try downloading. Let me know when you sent it. Yeah, and I'll do that. So were you ever nervous with any like big raids or any unexpected raids that have come in for you as well? And I just want to say welcome also Facebook and YouTube, now streaming there. Sometimes I forget because we're all on Twitch. So come to Twitch. It's twitch.tv/DJ Honeyflow. You'll see all the comments here. You join the community. Facebook, you're kind of left by yourself there. But welcome, Facebook and YouTube. Thanks for coming through. I see that like there too. Thanks for checking the show out too. We appreciate you. You get a little taste of what we do on Twitch here on Wednesday nights. But yeah, so were you guys ever nervous with any like big raid or any raid coming through?
Mistress Kush is always calm. She's nothing phases her. It's me. I'm the panicky one. If I see a raid come in, and it's a big raid, I like before I say anything on the mic, I look at her and I'm like, oh my God, did you just see what happened? And she'd be like, it's fine, Mum, you'll be all right. Yeah, nothing phases her. Nothing at all phases her.
So, what advice would you give to people that are just starting? They're afraid to stream because obviously you weren't really on the mic before, you weren't a DJ before. Selectress Mistress Kush, you just started
Mhm.
in the past year. Your show's growing. Now you're doing different raids. You're doing a lot of different things. It's a lot of new things to learn: videography, green screens, OBS, software. I don't believe we're just DJs anymore. We really have learned what it takes to stream, and I think we got a step ahead more than most people, especially when we get into this whole AI world or world of online. I think we all got a step. So, what advice, a step forward, I guess, what advice would you give to people like afraid to start, saying, "Oh, I can't do that," or there's DJs that have 30 years experience here. Like, where would I fit in if I started streaming? What advice would you give to them?
That's a good question.
I think my advice would be just do it. Um, I don't think it should be a case of, there's people that have more experience than me or something like that. I mean, I don't have experience. I don't run around saying, "Oh, I'm a DJ." Um, I'm just playing music and having fun. That's something I would normally do in my house. The only difference is I'm doing it with a group of people and meeting new people, having banter. So I don't think there should be any pressure in hitting the live button.
But would you guys say that it takes time? Because you said that you get pretty nervous and it does take time and courage to just be in front of the camera, right? So would you say to people that it actually does take a bit of time? It doesn't just happen overnight?
Um, she can't answer that question because nothing phases her.
Wow.
So for me personally, yeah, it has taken me time to get comfortable being in front of the camera, um, talking on the mic. But then I have a love for music, and I always have since I was a little girl. I grew up on music, just like Mistress Kush, she grew up on music. So hearing the right music, it's as if I'm at a family function or if I'm at a party, I will dance the way I normally would dance if I was out. I just love music. That's just me, full stop. But it definitely does take time for you to get used to it. Most definitely.
Yeah, because you said that you were very nervous, or at times you didn't want to talk on the mic, and she was nudging you to like say something. And I would never know that watching your show. I would never think that she's nervous or feels a bit insecure or, just like, oh, I don't know what to say. Like, I would never think that listening to you on the mic, because you're very good and you seem very comfortable on the mic. Most people aren't that way, you know?
I think it all depends on who's in the stream. If there's somebody new in the stream, I tend not to scare them away.
I don't think you scare anyone away. You have like one of the strongest mic presence on Twitch. I'm not even just saying that. Like, I really do believe that. Like, Sunny Day's got an amazing, incredible voice. Mai Tai has a great voice. You have a great radio voice. So I hope you go much further with that and look at maybe voiceovers you can do for companies or different people, because I feel like
Okay.
you do have something special that a lot of people would pay to want to have, right? So you should really look at some of those things too.
You see, I don't see it like that.
You never see anything.
There she goes. I never see anything. I don't know. Maybe because I'm just used to my voice that it doesn't seem anything special or different.
Yeah, you have
Um,
a voice.
but you've said it, and there's quite a few people that have said that I've got a really nice voice and I should do something with it.
Yojo
Um,
says you have a very calming voice. I love it.
oh, thank you.
Jen's like, I'm dying. I remember mom saying she would never get on the mic and camera. Yes, I remember that too. You're like, oh, heck no, when we were bugging you to do a show. And you jumped on and did a show. I remember that as well. Um, let's see here. Oh, Streds. Thank you so much, Streds. I appreciate you. Stred Muffin. Thank you so much for the sub. See, come on. You guys don't like my echo effect? Jen's like, turn it off. Thank you so much, Streds. I see that on another computer here. Thank you so much for, um, for the resubscription. I appreciate you. Streds is like the sweetest guy. I don't know if I can tell you everything he's done. I don't know if you want me sharing, but maybe I'll share another time on my show about Streds. But he's a great guy. You guys, for sure. Maybe I'll share the story. Maybe I'll ask you first before I share the story. Yeah, so Melissa Dawn says you have a soothing voice as well. I'm just here trying to read some of these comments. Hey, DJ Boa Ninjas. He's all the way in the UK too. Ooh, thank you. Thank you. UK. Boy. I know Jen can't stand that echo. She says I sound like a ghost. And but hey, can you read that comment, please? He says he likes the echo. We got Ken, Mister in the building. Junior's like you made her week as well. So I was going to ask you too. What Blkbeauty70? What is some advice that you would tell your 13-year-old self? Like just any life advice or anything you've learned along the way now that you're older. If you were to reverse time, what would you say to your 13-year-old self?
Be more bold, be more courageous, more outgoing.
You are outgoing.
Not
yes, you are.
Oh gosh,
that's what I mean. You don't
She's
see things. Okay, go carry on.
Oh my gosh. Okay, well, before we go further, Jen says, you guys sound hilarious with the Jamaican accent, full blown. Excuse me, we cannot do an interview. Okay, the rest of the interview has to be in patois, or maybe some of it. I want to hear it. I love it. Like, I want to hear my Jamaican friends. Sometimes they'll accidentally drop patois and they'll be like, oh, sorry. I'm like, why are you saying sorry? You guys never talk around me like that. I feel left out. So the rest of the interview, I'm going to go with Jen.
No.
Can you give us a few words?
Yeah, Mistress Kush can.
No, we're talking about you. You're the one that does this on the mic.
Okay, I don't do it on the mic.
You do it on the mic.
Okay, do a few things.
I want to do it all the time.
I don't recall. I really don't recall doing that.
Just say a few things on the mic. Like, what do you normally say? Oh, Father Damien's like, I may not be able to understand. Yeah, I really don't. I need.
What do I say? I don't even know.
The songs too, in the dance hall. I need some serious translation. I know Wagwan.
I don't even know that I did it.
You do it all the time.
Okay, say a
Jen.
Just say a statement for the people. Say a statement for the people.
Oh gosh, a statement for the people. Oh boy. DJ Jen, I really don't like you right now.
Yes, I just say a few things. Like
Wagwan.
Oh, come on. Everyone knows Wagwan. Say that. Come on. That's not a good expression. I want more. I should get
I don't. That's the thing, though. I don't actually talk in the lingo. That's the funny thing. Now, Jen's saying that
you do. It just comes out. It depends what's happening.
I don't see it. Well, I don't hear myself doing it in the stream. So hearing Jen and
do it at home.
Say I talk in a lingo in the stream. That's just really surprising to me because.
So you don't do it at home, Mistress Kush, or you both two together?
Oh yeah, she does all the time.
No.
I wish the call was there. Yeah, she does. She does it in the morning when she's trying to wake everyone up. She'll do it.
Okay, what does she say?
What do I say?
In the morning.
Yeah.
Firstly, she kicks open the door. That's the first thing. Then you've got her banging on the wall, or she'll throw a pillow and she'll be shouting at me to get up, or she'll tell me something's happening, or what was the other thing you told me the other day?
What?
something about the house on fire or something.
I never
Yes,
told
you
you.
did. Yes, you did. Or she'll tell me the house is on fire. Get up.
No, but
She
we need
doesn't-
to hear it in patois. We can't just hear this English version here. Like we need some patois over here. Come on.
What
I
do
mean,
you
you
usually
promised
say?
me jerk chicken, rice and peas. It's been 2
I
years.
usually say,
I haven't
I
been
might
doing
say
that.
to her, yo, I might say to her, yo, girl, picnic, get up out of the bed. I'll say something like that to her.
Oh, I like that.
See what DJ 101 said. That's what you say.
Oh, she says, get ya. Is that a bad word?
Yeah.
Is that a bad word? I think it is. RAS. Is that a bad word? Father Damien. I don't know. Get ya. Backside out of bed. I don't know. Oh, you know, Stred's was raised in Jamaica, guys. Stred Muffin here, which is pretty cool. Like I would have never known. So he's very familiar with patois. He could probably. What is okay? I need to know what that means. Actually, I don't know. Oh yeah. Oh, whoops! It's a butt. Okay. Get your backside out of bed. No, it doesn't sound. I didn't. I kind of assumed that, but I didn't know. Okay. So she'll say that every morning to you guys. Wow. Have you guys?
Not every morning.
Not every morning, just when she's a bit, I don't know, sometimes she's very dramatic. So when she's in a dramatic mood,
It's true, dramatic.
yeah, I'm
That's a
very
bit
over
much.
the top.
That's
No,
a
it's
bit
true.
much.
You are.
No, I'm not.
You are.
I'm very calm.
Have you ever gone back to Jamaica or anything like that?
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah, I have. The kids haven't,
Oh,
but
okay.
hoping one day we'll be able to go out there as a family. Got loads of family out there in America, so yeah.
Oh, JD says most West Indian mothers are dramatic. That's hilarious.
Yo, JD, how are you gonna say that, Queen? No, that's not true.
No,
That's
come on.
not
Okay,
true.
This guy needs slang.
all of them. They'll say you're dramatic.
Why am I dramatic?
It's the way you talk and carry on. You're dramatic.
No, I'm not.
What,
I'm
Father
not dramatic
Damien?
at all.
Now you got Father Damien started. He just said, "Come get your licks." Now you got him started. A priest started. Can you say that on Sunday in front of your congregation, Father Damien? Can you say, "Come get your licks"? Can you say that? I'll pay you if you say that. I'll give you your lasagna back if you say that. No, it's like no. Selectress is like back. She is dramatic. Let's see. Oh, Chakra says, I agree. West Indian, African, Asian, Indian. Yeah, I think it's pretty much any culture. I would say that too. Stress is laughing. Father Damien's like, no way. You don't want to be tired. But he's Guyanese too, and same with Jen and Unknown Dreamer. Wow. They could all be related in my chat room, and you never know. Let's see. Yeah, I'm just reading some of these messages here. Oh, Melissa Dawn says Catholic moms are scary. Just saying. Yeah, they kind of are. Yeah, for sure. So going back to the monthly rates that you guys did, like every day for International Women's Month, what does like pretty much female empowerment? I know we talk about it and we say the word, but what does that actually mean to you guys? You know, doing those raids and talking about female empowerment, what does that actually really mean to you guys?
What does it mean to you?
To me, it means community. Bringing all the queens together to celebrate something that's not celebrated every day on Twitch. Sometimes not celebrated at all. So I think it was important to highlight the female DJs, the female mods, the viewers as well, and the streamers.
Okay. Do you think women seriously support one another? Because I know you could do a month, you could do a week, you could do a day and be like, oh, empowerment and women and all that sort of thing. But like, do you honestly think that women actually support one another? And if so, or if not, what are some ways that we can do better at encouraging one another or truly supporting one another, like more from an authentic place?
I think there is a small collective of females on Twitch that do wholeheartedly support other queens. From what I've seen and what I've observed, I think the queens in general can do better and should be doing better. I'm not saying you need to be in someone's stream 24/7, but simple things like if they've posted something, repost it. It doesn't take a minute to post someone, or even to share a link. So I think simple things make a big difference, especially on Twitch.
Most definitely.
Yeah, DJ Jen says I agree. Do you have anything to add to that, Black Beauty?
I think, although Twitch isn't our life, but we are on Twitch quite a lot. So therefore, I think that as Mistress Kush said, it is important for the queens to be supporting each other, because we're all facing that same difficulty of somebody saying that you shouldn't be on Twitch, you're not good enough to be on Twitch. So we all face that same challenge. So if we're all facing that same challenge, why can't we just come together as one and support each other? Even if there's only 10 queens out of the amount of queens that are on Twitch that repeatedly support each other, that's a good thing to me anyway. That is a good thing. You see, I don't do the two-faced thing. I'm not a two-faced person. So I wouldn't want someone supporting me and behind my back they're talking about me. I'd rather you not support me. And I think if queens are going to do that to each other, we're never going to be able to have that big footing on Twitch like the male DJs do. There's male DJs that don't get on with each other, but they don't go around backstabbing each other the way that queens do. And from what I've seen, it always seems to be within the black community, which is really, really sad, because we face that on the outside world. So why do we have to then face the same thing on Twitch? Like, just support each other. That's what it's all about. Just support each other. If you've got the free time to go into somebody's stream and say hi and vibe for 5-10 minutes, that would mean a lot to a DJ who doesn't see a lot of queens in their stream, for example. A lot of queens are, they're happy to run along and support the male DJs. Why not support your queens as well? I just don't get it. I just don't get it.
I think also in life we're taught to compete from the day we're born, right? So if it's beauty, if it's success, if it's climbing up a ladder, like sometimes we're taught there's only one spot in the building to be filled. So that's why I see, especially in entertainment, I see women kind of like, oh, well, I'm not going to work with that because there's only one spot for me. But I think it's changing your mentality that if you start realizing there are many spots in this world for each and every single person in this room, every single person watching this podcast, there's enough spots in this world for everyone. There's a surplus of spots, actually. There's just not enough people doing things, I think, in the field, and especially women. So I think it's also changing your mentality and maybe having grace. Because when you said you're not into the two-faced thing, if I point the finger back at myself, I'm not perfect. It's not like I've never said anything about anyone. You know what I mean? So I think it's like, it's pointing that mirror back at yourself too and saying, we all got work to do. We're all human. So if you're expecting someone never to say anything or to do anything or to lie or to this, and yeah, it's hurtful when you find out things for sure, but it's also pointing the mirror back at yourself and saying, hey, have I ever done that? Have I ever done that to someone? Or have I ever, and I think that shows humility and kind of chips away your own pride. And pride is a hard thing to tackle because we all got pride. You know what I mean? So I don't know. It's just, that's something I'm kind of learning too. It is disappointing finding out certain things, but I think it's also having grace and like knowing that people are human. Like they're going to fail you, you know, even the people you love, even the people that love you are in your corner, they're going to fail you too, because we've also failed people, right? So I don't know. That's something that I am definitely learning. But no, that's great that you mentioned that too. So yeah, I think women should support each other a lot more, and the men too, right? Of course,
Definitely.
because a lot of the chat rooms are filled. Like when you go to male streamers or DJs, you see the rooms filled with people, right? But then how many? The thing that I don't know if you ever have this, if you ever meet someone that watches your show and they're just like, "Oh, you do an awesome show, I love it," but I'm like, "But I've never seen you on my show." It's a little shocking. Like a few times I've been out in Toronto and some people have come up to me and they're like, "Oh, you're DJ Honeyflow, you're so great," or da 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 da. You know, they're buttering you up. But then I'm like, I've never literally seen you in my life, like on my show, even say hello to me. So I was just a little surprised by that. You know, if you
Yeah.
ever get that, like it doesn't make sense because I'm like, but you've never talked to me, you've never been on my show. I don't know. So for me, it feels a little. It doesn't feel super sincere to me, to be honest. Like I just don't know if you guys have had any of those comments or those things. But Father Damien makes a great point. He says they could be lurking. There are a lot of quiet lurkers. Yo, JD. Yeah, I don't know. It kind of surprised. I don't know. It just feels a little bit weird to me, to be honest with you. But this is the industry. This is entertainment, and it's expected. Yeah. So I wanted to also go. I can't believe how fast the time's going, and I thank you so much for sticking around with me because it's like, what time is it there? 11:30 or almost midnight, right? I think.
11:35.
Oh wow! So I wanted to get into definitely something that I talked about with Blkbeauty70, and I just wanted her to share. Hey, Bounce DJ, I see you as well, and DJ MC2J Man, and everyone else that's come in the room. So I know you have quite the story and the journey, and of course we've talked, privately behind our shows about this, and I've asked you questions because it's very rare that I find someone that has gone through this journey. I just haven't in how many years. So I thought it was pretty unbelievable too that you kind of have share the same story I do. So. I know a little while ago you posted on Instagram, I believe, with your boyfriend and with him passing. Um, and I definitely asked you questions like privately because I was just curious, how did you go through that journey or what your story was? So I could personally relate, and I asked Black Beauty if we could kind of talk about this because I know it's going to help someone in the chat room today as well. So if you will kind of want to share that journey, like that would be awesome, with people too.
Sorry. 7 years ago in December, I lost my partner. We were together 9 years. Got a little boy together, Lazy Plays. He died in a fatal car accident. Lazy Plays was 4 at the time. It was a massive impact on all of us. It was just so unexpected. We saw him the Wednesday, and by the Friday he was gone. It was devastating, absolutely devastating.
Wow, yeah, that's a lot, especially with grief. Yeah, make sure you guys throw up some hearts in the chat for them as well. Blkbeauty70. It's not easy sharing your story, and I asked, before our interview if it was okay to kind of go there because I really do believe that, when we share our stories and we're open and transparent, like it's going to help someone. It may not be for everyone, but it can be for one person, right? So how did your kind of grief journey begin? Like because it feels different when you have someone that passed suddenly Like you have no time to prepare for that thing. You're
No.
just like, it just, your mind is just like, what just happened? Like you're just trying to process everything. So
Yeah.
how did you kind of like cope, you know, the next couple of years with that situation as well, with your grief journey?
It was hard. It was really, really difficult, especially as we shared a son. Um, I had to sit him down at 4 years old and tell him that his dad had died. I think that was the hardest thing, or one of the hardest things I've ever had to do in my whole life. And he was really close to his dad. The journey itself, for the first few months, I was of no use to anybody. I just wanted to be by myself. I didn't want anybody around me. We actually packed some stuff and went to the family home, and I stayed with my mum for about 4 months because I just couldn't bear being in the home that we shared together. The first year was really, really, really hard. I was just in a state of disbelief that he wasn't here. He wasn't going to walk through the front door. Wasn't ever going to be able to talk to him again. I wouldn't say it's got easier as the years have gone past. I've had to learn to come to terms with it. That's the only way I can describe it, is just learning to come to terms with it. There are days where I constantly think about him. I do miss him, and I'll always miss him, and it will always have a piece of my heart. But the journey, it's got easier as time has gone on. And sharing a son, I knew I had to be strong for him. Mistress Kush, she was just amazing throughout the whole thing. Like, she had my back throughout everything. But now I can talk about him. Before, I couldn't talk about him. I had loads of pictures of him around the home, and about 2 years ago, got to the point where, you know, I thought I need to take some of these down. So I did take some down. Obviously, I left a few up, but it has its good days and its bad days. You know, once it's difficult losing somebody who you've shared a life with, who you have a child with, who you made plans for a future with. And when that's just snatched away from you suddenly, you're just lost, and you're in a really, really dark place. And nothing anybody says or does can take that away. You've got to bring yourself out of it. If it wasn't for the kids, I don't know what would have happened to me, to be quite honest. But having them, especially Blazy, knowing that Blazy is a part of him, and he reminds me so much of his dad, so much. He's tall like his dad, his sense of humour is like his dad, he drinks like his dad, he eats like his dad, he is his dad. And I think that brought a lot of comfort to me, knowing, you know, I've still got part of him here with me. And I think that's the main bit that helped me get through, was having him, knowing that he is a part of his dad. But yeah, it was hard. It was hard. And I think 3 years after losing him, I went into a coma. I woke up and I didn't even know that he had passed. I kept on asking for him constantly, where is he, where is he? And Mistress Kush kept on saying to me, Mum, don't you remember? No. Remember what? It was just a complete blur to me. Um, so when she told me, I had to relive it all over again because I had no memory of him passing. So reliving it a second time round, that was a killer for me, because I not only had to relive the fact that he had actually passed, but then I had to deal with the fact that I was in a coma for over 2 months. I had to go into recovery. It was just a big massive impact on my life.
Yeah, I definitely understand every word you're saying. Wow. And I thank you for being courageous to share that. It's not easy to share that, but that'll always be a piece of your story. Just has
Yeah,
it's a piece of my story too, and it was really awesome. Just like I had no idea that that was your story, because it's just so
yeah,
rare that you're meeting people that have lost a spouse or a boyfriend. So it's very hard to connect with people. Your friends don't get it. Your family doesn't get it. If you go
yeah.
to church or wherever you go, they don't get it. Like, no one understands it. You're literally
No,
left alone to pick up the pieces. And don't you find, like, after a funeral, like, there's so many people that are like, I'll be there for you, I'll do anything, give me a call,
yeah,
and like everyone disappears, like
yeah.
every single person, including your
That
friends,
that
everyone.
is exactly what happened. People, said to me, "Don't worry, I'll be there for Blazy." Da 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 da. Um, and they were in the beginning,
Mhm.
but slowly and surely they all drifted away. Some of them were his godparents, who his dad chose to be his godparents. And it must have been about maybe 2, 3 years ago. I just thought to myself, you know what? You're not in his life the way that you should be in his life. His dad chose you for a reason. And I just sent about 3 of them a WhatsApp message and just basically said to them, I relinquish you of your responsibility of being his godparent. Wish them the best in life, and just left it at that, because you know that his dad has passed and you're meant to be his godparent. That's the time that you're meant to step up and be there for him. Um, and the fact that certain people weren't, I was happy enough to just walk away from them and just concentrate on the people that he does have in his life, that do have that constant contact with him. Um, his closest person, apart from me, is his sister. They're inseparable. If she says, I'm going to the shop, you'll hear that little voice, wait a minute, I'm coming. And, within a flash, he's ready. I love seeing them together. I always have since he was little. I just love seeing the bond that the two of them have. I've got 3 kids, but he's closest to her than he is his brother. They do drive me mad. They do. He'll come and lay on me and want a hug, and she'll come along and say to him, no, it's my turn. So I'm like a piece of meat.
That's
I,
so funny.
I've got one pulling me on the left and the other pulling me on the right. And they're not thinking about the fact that, I have feelings. I can actually feel myself being tugged. They'll just fight over whose turn it is to hug me, whose turn it is to kiss me, who should sit next to me. She's just as bad as what he is. But no, their relationship is just amazing. It really is.
Yeah, that's awesome. Have you ever done like grief share or like anything to kind of help you push like forward, like over the years? Have you ever considered that? Because that literally saved my life out here. I think grief share would be awesome if you were
I
ever
mean,
interested in taking.
um, at the time of losing him, a lot of people were saying to me, you need to go to counselling. You need to go and talk to somebody. But for me, I just thought it was a waste of time, because nobody's going to understand that pain that I feel in the pit of my stomach except someone else that's gone through the same thing. So I didn't go to counselling. I pushed myself through that grief with the aid of Mistress Kush. If it wasn't for her, you know, like I said, I don't know where I would be. I don't know where Blkbeauty would be without her. Because when I was going through my grief, it was her that stepped in and, you know, looked after him, made sure he got to school on time, picked him up. When I was in the coma, it was her that was holding down the household, making sure that my mum was okay. Because me and my mum are very close, and obviously, you know, your daughter goes into a coma, you don't know whether she's going to live or die. After the fact, and me finding out of everything that I went through, I knew that would really affect my mum. So, you know, to know that Mistress Kush was there, looking after her, looking after my eldest son, taking care of Blkbeauty, fighting with the doctors, you know, because they had told her so many different things. They basically told her I was going to die. So knowing that she had all of that she had to contend with, I was always proud of her anyway, but that just made me the proudest mum on earth, because a lot of people her age, they wouldn't have stuck around to deal with any of that or to help out. Yeah. And she did.
It's kind of crazy you say that, because I felt the exact same way. Like every word you're saying, I can seriously relate to right now. And I was just like, oh, I don't want to do this. What are they going to know? They don't know anything, you know. But I truly believe that like people were purposed in my life that went through almost the same situation. You know, I met a couple that had they lost their boyfriend suddenly, and he was very young, right? So I can relate to that. And then I met another woman where her husband was Guyanese and had a heart attack on the 401 in Toronto, driving his car on the highway, which is our 401, and he was Guyanese. So just it was crazy because I could relate to her because he was Guyanese, right? But I can relate to what you're saying. I would encourage you, even though it's been many years. Grief share is honestly awesome. You know, I stubbornly did it. I did not want to do it because I'm like, what do these people know? They don't know how I feel. Da 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 da. But I forced myself, and I was quiet for 2 months. Believe it, me, Honeyflow, quiet of all people. I did not say one word for 2 months in that thing. So I encourage you to do it because it really put a lot into perspective, like how we grieve, what we do. Right? I didn't realize over shopping or overeating was associated with grief. I had no idea. I thought that the things like maybe people run to, like drugs, alcohol, whatever your thing is, whatever you go to and consume a lot of to cope. But there's a lot of other factors to grief. And like mine was over shopping and overeating. Like it brings you this high and then it brings you this low and this high again and this low, right? Just like anything we consume. But Unknown Dreamer has a great message here I wanted to say. It says, I've learned when something dramatic happens to you, you can have 100 people in the hospital room with you, but at the end of the night, everyone goes back to their lives, and it's only you and your thoughts. Most time, the support outside your family is just a period of time. For sure, 100%, I agree with that. And I totally agree with that comment, Unknown Dreamer. Thanks for posting. But then sometimes people are uncomfortable with death, or they don't know how to help you. They don't even know what to say to you, right? So then they'd rather just avoid because that's easier. So what could you say to people? Like, how could people be there for someone that's grieving? What could you say helped you? I know Mistress really helped you, but what can you tell people out there with something that they can do to help someone that's grieving?
I think what people need to realize is when someone's going through grief or they're going through a traumatic time, there is no end date. There is no you know, you'll be all right next month. There is none of that. Everyone goes through grief differently. There are different ways of expressing or feeling grief. Mine's 7 years, but yeah, I still have that pain. I still have that hurt within me. And I think I always will. But see, my mum always taught me, if you have nothing good to say, then say nothing. If you know someone that's grieving and you don't know what to say to them, you could put it in a card. You could go up to them and give them a hug. A hug says 1,000 words. Rather than you being awkward around them. I think people being awkward around you when you're grieving just makes you feel like you're a leper, like you're the one with the problem. You know, there is no time limit to grief, but I think it's important to have the right people around you, most definitely. When I was going through the grief, I had, you know, people that were quite pushy, people trying to tell me how I should be, people thinking that, you know, because 6 months had passed, I should be over it. And I wasn't explosive on them, but, you know, I did let them know, you know, this is my grief. You can't tell me when I should be over it. But you need good people around you, people that's going to listen, people that's not going to expect that, you know, 2 years later, 3 years later, 4 years later, you won't be talking about it. And if you don't have that around you, it's not worth having people around you that are not going to be genuine with you. It's just not worth it.
Have you learned, like, over the years to kind of close up your story? Because I know I have. Like, it's been probably about 11 years for me, which is crazy. But, like, I just closed it up because, like you said, people will say, hey, you got to move on, or you got to get over it. Or some people would be like, okay, you're crying too much, or you're joking. Why are you laughing today? Like, I remember people saying all those crazy things.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's like you couldn't win. Even if you had a normal day, you just wanted to joke or have some normalcy. You know, people would be like, well, why are you laughing? Like, why are you laughing today? Or why are you crying too much? Or people wouldn't invite you to certain things because you were just too depressed, you know? So you were kind of alone in this state of, like, real loneliness, you know, even amongst a group of people.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah, like, what would you say, like, some things that were said to you that you probably shouldn't say maybe to a grieving person? Like,
stop talking about it. Aren't you over it yet?
Everything happens for a reason.
Everything happens for a reason. That was like, my mum is very Christian, very, very Christian. So, you know, she would say it, I would go to church and people would say it. Everything happens for a reason. That was the one thing that just drove me absolutely insane. For me, it got to the point where I'm not a disrespectful person, but I couldn't hold it in anymore. And I had to say to them, what reason is there to take a father away from a 4-year-old boy? Tell me the reason. You know, if you're telling me everything happens for a reason, what was the reason behind him losing his dad? If I could bring his dad back for him, I would, in a heartbeat. Because I think at 4, losing your dad, he's 11 now, you know, there are times when he will ask me things about his dad and we will sit and talk about his dad. And I'll always do that with him because that is his piece of closeness to his dad. But having, you know, people just need to be sensitive. They need to, you know, think to themselves, well, would I want somebody to say that to me if I was grieving? You know, a bit of common knowledge, a bit of understanding. It's not hard to try and put yourself in someone else's shoes and see what they're going through their glasses, and not your own glasses, in the aspect of, well, you should be over it now.
Or people say like, well, he's in heaven, like why are you worried? Or it's kind of selfish for you to want to keep the person here. I heard that too, and I was like, are you kidding me? You clearly have not gone through grief. And I think when people go through grief, especially in church, people just say, I'm sorry, ridiculous things. I guess we're all human, whether it's a church or not. People say real ridiculous things. And I remember people like judging me so much on my attendance. Well, we haven't seen you. And then when I tell them the story, they're like, oh, and then they just disperse. Like they just literally leave on
Yeah.
you, standing there by yourself. Like, did that question, like going through that situation, did it question kind of your faith and your mortality as well? Like,
Oh,
kind of
most
make you
definitely.
angry against yourself?
Oh, most
Yeah.
definitely.
Like,
Oh, most definitely.
go through these things. When you're angry, you feel shock, right? Kind of like what you said, you had to remember that he was gone. Like, you go through those, phases of grief where you do feel angry, or you do wonder, what is the point? Like, I mean, if God brought me someone great, why would you just remove that? Like, why would that,
Yeah.
So you feel those questions.
I went through all of that and more, because before I had Mistress Kush, I had a daughter. I named her Carissa. She was born at 25 weeks, and she was stillborn. So I had to go through that for a really young age. And then when I had Mistress Kush,
Oh, can you guys hear? Not sure if I could hear. Can you guys hear them?
oh, sorry,
That was your.
that was my fault.
Okay, I can hear now. Yeah.
Yeah, when I had
You said?
Mistress Kush, she was only £2 2 ounces. I could hold her on one hand, so I didn't know whether she was going to live or die. So I've been through quite a lot of traumatic stuff during my life of growing up. And that's why I get where Mistress Kush comes from, saying about my strength and my courage. But when you're going through something, you don't feel like you've got that strength or you've got that courage. But I don't know, I guess somehow I do. If I didn't, I wouldn't be sitting here right now.
Exactly.
You definitely do. And sometimes you got to give yourself more credit. Sometimes we're just like, oh, we haven't done this or we haven't done that. But you know what? Just getting up after a situation like that, I don't think people understand. Like, it's a different loss when you lose your daughter or lose, say, a sister or a mother. And I'm not saying one loss is greater than the other. It's just a different feeling. But when
Yeah.
you lose a relationship and you had plans and you had intimate moments with the person and a connection with the person, and like in your case, it was a child. In my case, I didn't have kids, but when you have like a plan for the future and that gets ripped away from you, I think just getting up the next day and even taking a shower and even just like cleaning your place, or just the simple things that we take for granted, I think takes a lot of strength and courage to just get up and push forward. So you should look back and think about like how much you've done, like raising kids, you're streaming, you're doing a lot of different things that maybe could bring a lot of fear on people, right? But you're still doing them. So I hope you see your strength and see how much you've like achieved and done, right? And even being a mother is not an easy thing. So
Definitely not.
yeah, so you should really definitely look back, and the times where you feel like you're not doing anything, you should write or get Mistress Kush to write them down for you, because she seems like she's a number one cheerleader for you as well. Like, write down all the good things and make sure when you're having a bad day, you can look at that list and be like, yeah, I actually have accomplished and have done a lot, right? So, yeah, and just even sharing your story, it takes courage. I had no idea that was your story. So I was so curious about like, okay, how did you navigate through that? Because I don't meet anyone that where we have that common, common situation ever. So
I was actually doing a university degree when he died.
wow.
I think I was into my second year. And when he died, the first thing I said to Mistress Kush was, I don't want to do this degree anymore. I didn't see the sense in doing it. And then I went into, I didn't take time out, but my tutors knew what happened. So I stayed on the course and carried on. And then I went into the coma. And after I came out of the coma, that was when I was ready to really chuck in the towel with the degree course. And Madam here said to me, nope, you're not doing it. She said, take a year out, do whatever you got to do, but you're not chucking it away. She said, you went through so much while you was doing the course, and for you to walk away from it now, it doesn't make any sense. So I took a year out, and that was my first year of being in recovery. And it was Mistress Kush that really pushed me and said to me, come on, Mum, you can do this. When I had to stay up late and study, she'd be right next to me. She'd help me. And I did pass my degree. But if it wasn't for her, I don't think I would have carried on with it.
Yeah. Do you feel pressure, Mistress Kush, as well? Like, because you were probably quite young at that age, I'm assuming probably in your 20s, or you don't have to give the age if you don't want to, but like, that's a lot for you to handle as well, Like, how were you able to kind of deal with and cope with everything? Because that's a lot.
At the time, I didn't feel like it was a lot. I think it's very easy for me to separate my feelings from a situation. And it's easy for me to hit the pause brake when I need to handle what I need to handle. And eventually I'll go back to, in a way, getting over a situation or working out why I felt the way I did. So I think, especially with Mum being in the coma, it didn't affect me the way it affected everyone else. I mean, if anything, it was just annoying having everyone crying and calling me every 2 minutes. But no, it didn't affect me like that.
Has Black Beauty, has that brought you back? Because I know you definitely go through a lot of questions with your mortality and with faith and being angry with God and going through all these mixed emotions, and then some people slowly go back to their faith, some people don't. Like, what has been your journey with that? Like, do you still trust that like He's kind of got a plan and purpose for you, or is it kind of like I'm still kind of like angry at the situation? Like, I don't.
You see, when I was in the coma, there's two specific things that I remember being in that coma, and it was like I was traveling. I actually saw my uncle die in hospital, and I saw my partner, and I kept on calling his name, but he just stood there smiling at me. He didn't say anything, and he was dressed in a black suit and a white shirt, and he just stood there smiling at me. Every time I called his name, he just smiled. Months after coming out of the coma, I had a conversation with Mistress Kush, and I kept on asking her for my uncle, and she kept on saying to me, oh, he's fine, he's fine, he's fine. But the reason why I kept on asking is because of what I saw. And it just so happens that one of my cousins came to visit me in hospital, and he had let slip that my uncle had died. So then that started to make me question what I'd seen whilst I was in the coma. And after hearing what all the doctors had told Selectress Mistress Kush, what was going to happen to me, I knew that it wasn't the doctors that saved my life, because they had given up hope. They had basically said to her, there's nothing we can do, your mum's going to die.
They said you were brain dead.
So when, after being discharged from hospital, I went and stayed at the family home for quite a long time. And I kept on having flashbacks of certain things. So then I would sit and ask Mistress Kush, and then she'd tell me. She didn't want to tell me everything at once, so I got told things over a period of time. By the November of that year, I had decided that I was going to get baptized. And I did take my water baptism. And I wasn't expecting miracles. I really wasn't. I wasn't expecting everything in my life to suddenly just become better. But I did struggle with my faith. And I struggled a lot, especially with everything that I'd been through. And then COVID came in and the churches were closed. I haven't been back to church. I really haven't, because I'm still in that centerpiece of struggling to understand why everything I've gone through has happened. Am I angry? No, I'm not angry. I mean, I am angry with the doctors that allowed me to go into the coma. If they were doing what they were supposed to be doing, I would never have gone into a coma in the first place. But I guess it's a matter of understanding why I've had to go through the things that I have been through. I do believe there is a purpose as to why I didn't die when I was in that coma, when in all reality, I was meant to die. So it's trying to figure out what that purpose is as to why I survived the coma. Even after having scans and x-rays and everything else, the doctors were baffled, because my body showed no signs of being in a coma for over 2 months. My body showed no signs of any form of trauma, and it should have done. So that again just made me believe, the Heavenly Father had his hands on me. When those doctors gave up on me, they told Mistress Kush I was basically a raging alcoholic. I had a psychotic breakdown. They told her that I had meningitis on the brain.
You were brain dead.
I was brain dead. They told her so many things. There were so many procedures that they wanted to do to me, and she stood up for me. It was her that fought for me. If she didn't take the stand that she did at the time 4 years ago, there would have been no more Blkbeauty. Blkbeauty wouldn't have existed. So in that respect, I owe her my life. I do owe her my life, because if she wasn't being true to me and true to fighting for me, I wouldn't be here. But I do struggle with my faith. I still do. I don't pray as much. I don't talk to the Almighty Father as much. But I know that's something that I have to sit and deal with and come to terms with one way or another. Either I'm going to do it, or I'm not going to do it, and I'm just going to walk away from my faith.
No, I think it's I know it can be a push, especially after COVID, I think, with so many people, right? And so many people going through loss, and not just loss, physical loss, but financial loss and breakups. And, there's just been a lot of broken things. We live in a broken world, right? But I encourage you. It's been a push for me to go back as well, like a real push. And my friends are like pulling me by the ear. Well, not the ear, but you know what I mean, with my ear a little. They keep bugging me, but those are good friends that have my back, And I encourage you to definitely do that, even if you're just like streaming something positive. because it does say it's important to fellowship with others, and he's always going to bring you someone incredible that's going to understand your story or get it or just be there, even if it's just one person. I really believe that, kind of like what he did in Grief Share with me. I was blown away that they're from the same background, Guyanese, and like I was just so blown away that I can relate. But I didn't talk to them for 2 months, because I was stubborn and I'm just like, what do these people know? I don't want to watch these stupid videos, and why am I here? And I was so stubborn. Trust me, guys. I did not talk for 2 months in that thing. And the facilitators to this day still tell me that I didn't talk. So, and then later, then they shared their story, and then eventually I started opening it up. But it didn't happen overnight, right? So I encourage that for you too, because I really do believe he's got great things for you, and your story needs to go further because I know it's going to help and touch a lot of people. And you say it so eloquently, like you say it, like everything you're saying, I could understand, So who knows? Maybe that'll be your mission, to help others and to do that, right? It's our stories are not just left for ourselves; they're here to impact and help other people out there that are going through the same thing, right?
Yeah.
And there's a lot of people in your situation. I was so happy you posted like his picture. For all you guys that don't know, she posted her boyfriend's picture on Instagram. And that's how I recently found out, because you never told me. After I shared so much on my show, I'm like, oh, I didn't even know, like at all.
On that day, I actually wasn't going to post a picture.
Oh, wow. And
but it was his birthday. It was his birthday, and I said to Mistress Kush, I want to post something on the IG. And she said to me, why don't you? And I was like, no, I'm not going to do it. And it took me a few hours before I eventually said, you know what, I'm going to do this. And I posted the picture. A lot of people were shocked because a lot of people didn't know what I'd gone through. But, it is a part of me, and it will always be a part of me. And I'm not one to, someone asks me a question, I'm not going to answer or I'm going to avoid it because I don't want to talk about it. I'm proud to talk about him. He was a wonderful, loving, generous man. He had no hesitation in taking on Mistress Kush and her brother when we first got together. No hesitation at all. He loved them as if they were his own kids. And he treated them as if they were his own kids, Sometimes he sided with the two of them against me.
Most of the time.
Most of the time. I was always left out in the cold, But yeah, he made a big impact on our lives. He really did. So
have you ever met anyone like over the years that kind of resembled him, where you're like, whoa, this is like freaking me out? Like they said that on Grief Share that it's very common for you. Like I literally have seen people that look identical. It was so trippy. I couldn't even talk to the guy. I'm like, I can't even look at him. Like he looks exactly like him right now. So
I know exactly what you mean. I can relate to that. There is someone that's actually in our church. He is a spitting image of him. There is no difference between the two of them. And his wife is actually my closest friend.
Oh, wow.
So when we walked into church one day and I saw the side of him and I looked at Mistress Kush and my eyes were bulging, my mouth dropped open. It was like he was there. And at first, I didn't want to talk to him. I didn't want him nowhere near me. I didn't even want to talk to his wife because that would mean him coming over and talking to me looking at him and seeing my boyfriend. But now he's like my brother. He's a great guy. But yeah, sometimes I look at him and I think, oh my God.
Yeah.
But,
they say that you will have moments like that when you lose someone, or you'll have different incidences, and sometimes I wonder. That's one question I asked Father Damien actually off my show, because I drill him with a lot of questions about faith and life, and he's always patient to ask questions, and I can be a little feisty too, with him as well. And he's patient. But I did ask, like, do you think people, that die, can they actually see us? I wonder if there's a disconnect. Some people, not everyone in this room believes in heaven and hell. I do. I'm a firm believer in that. And I kind of wonder if they can see glimpses of what we're doing here or not, or if it's a total disconnect. But I believe that, like, I've seen some pretty radical things too. And I really think that they can see. Maybe God shows them glimpses of what we're doing.
I do believe that he watches over us. I definitely do believe that. And there's, even when Blazy was little, there'd be a noise at the door, and he would open the bedroom door, and he'd always look up and then start speaking. His dad was really, really tall. He was 6 foot plus.
6'8".
Yeah, 6'8" he was.
Oh wow, that's tall.
So whenever Blazy would always look up, and at one point he turned around and said, "It's okay, you can go now, I'm being a good boy." But he wasn't looking down at his level saying it. He was standing there looking up. And me, Kush, and my mum, we was all in the same room, and we just all looked at each other. He would tell us that his dad was there. He would say, "Look, there's Daddy." And we'd be standing there and we'd be like, "No, Daddy's not." "Yes, Mummy, Daddy's there. Daddy." So from a young age, I knew he was seeing his dad from a very young age. And I do believe that his dad watches over us. I honestly do believe that.
And kids don't lie about those things. Like, I don't know if you guys have watched the movie Is Heaven for Real, but it's pretty remarkable what that kid saw. But like, kids are probably the most innocent because they always say the truth. They're like old people too. Like, they'll just say it how it is. They don't care, right? But kids see things, I think.
They do. I honestly do believe. I think because they're so innocent, that's why they can see what they see. And I've always thought and believed that from a young age, but that's going through my own experiences of seeing things. So yeah, when he used to tell me that Daddy was there, and I honestly do believe that. So I know he's still around us. I mean, at times I'll sit here and I'll be like, "Oh my gosh, where are you?" Because there are times when I can feel him, and there's times when I don't feel him. But I know he's lingering around us, and most probably laughing at me and Kush DJing and making trouble on Twitch.
Yeah, you guys make a lot of trouble. Trouble. I'll say trouble, not trouble.
Yeah.
No, it's you.
It's not.
That's awesome. I appreciate you so much for sharing. Like, everything, because I know it takes a lot of courage to share that. It's not always easy. So I really do appreciate you sharing, that story. And have you? You seem pretty open, so I kind of feel like, not prying or anything.
Go ahead.
But I was going to ask you, like, have you tried moving on? Like, kind of moving forward, like getting back out there again, or not really? It's been quite a lot of years.
That I have. In 7 years that he's gone, have I been on a date? No. Have I been intimate with somebody? No. I think once you've been with somebody for so long, and they know you inside out, and they accept you for who you are, and they're no longer there, the prospect of going out and meeting somebody and going through all of that all over again, and not only that, but having that added worry of, will he accept me for who I am? Will he accept me as I am? It's very daunting, and I find it scary. Um,
I can relate. I definitely can relate for sure. Definitely.
yeah, it's a scary process, and it means you having to put yourself back out there again.
But they would also
Um,
want you to move. I think the people that we've lost along the way, they would want you to move on. They would want you to be happy and they
mhm,
want you to try again. But I think the people that we've lost, they're probably so uniquely special that it's
mhm,
like, it's not like you want to replace them, but it's hard. It's really hard to replace if someone really loved you, like, or was really treated you really, really well, or treated like you like a queen, right?
mhm,
And you have that history with them. I think that's incredibly hard to find, in this day and age, and I think um, it's hard to kind of replace in a way, you know.
mhm.
But I think he
Um,
would want you to move on and be happy and live your life, you know.
I know he definitely would want that. And it's taken me a long time to get to a place where I want that for me as well. Um, I'm not saying that I will never enter another relationship again. Um, but at the same time, it's for me, it's not about finding someone to replace him or finding someone that has the same qualities as him. For me, it's just the prospect of having to go through those steps all over again. And where it's been such a long time, the dating game isn't easy. It's not easy. So putting myself back out there again, that's I guess in some ways it's something that I'm working on little by little, but I'm not in no great rush to go out there and meet the first man that comes along. And no, I'm not in a great rush for that.
Yeah. What about Mistress Kush? How do you feel? Do you want your mom like getting back out there, like bringing her into
Um,
a little bit?
Yeah, I think low key she is ready. I just listened to what she said. I think it's a ton of rubbish. I think she is fearful. That's what it that's what it comes to. She's fearful of putting herself out there. I don't think it's a case that she's not ready. I think she is ready, but it's just that fear that's holding her back from doing it. I mean, we've had this so many times, and it's been, where am I going to meet someone? Oh, I don't want to do online dating. I don't want to do this. But like I said to her, having simple conversations, I mean, yes, in a way, it's putting yourself out there, but I mean, I'm not telling her to go get married tomorrow, but yeah, she could and should have, a companion.
I'm not saying that I shouldn't have a companion.
I
I'm
didn't say you
I'm
said
just
that.
saying that
I said it's
it's
fair.
a scary process.
Exactly what I said. It's
Yeah,
fair.
yeah.
That is stopping you from doing it. It's not the fact that you're not ready to. You are ready. It's just the fear that is holding you back. Right? See, I'm right.
These two, eh? These two going back and forth. Hey, DJ, my good to see you as well. Yeah, so I mean, it definitely does take time. And someone said that I'm going to send you this clip if I find it because it made sense to me on grief. Like it showed this woman doing a TED talk, and she's like, why do people stop grief or stop you talking about it? Because it's like a good movie. If you have a good movie on someone that was really great or treated you great, it was a good trailer, you would keep talking about it, you would keep replaying it. It's not saying you're stuck there. It's just it's
Hmm.
a good movie. You would keep sharing it with people. But people get a little freaked out. I don't know about you, but when I opened up my story, I haven't actually opened it up until Twitch, which is unbelievable. It's been years. And I just closed the thing off because anytime I went on a date or talked to people, they would just like disperse from me. Like you said, like you were some leper or you were like something was wrong with you, and it would freak out like men too, because I think I would overshare like on a date
Hmm.
because I didn't know what to say. Like when people ask me, well, what was your last situation? I'm like, oh, how do I share this without oversharing it,
Yeah.
really scare people away, especially men. I found like it really scared your story. Really, they're like dispersed. But I think the right person will be able to understand, you
Yeah.
know, whatever comes to you, because that's always going to be your story for the rest of your life, right? You have a child
Yes.
together. So, like, I think there's nothing wrong with talking about it and sharing it doesn't mean you're over it. Like, or it means that you just want to talk about that good movie, right? It's like that
Yeah.
good trailer. So I'm going to try to find that video for you because it was really, really awesome. And maybe a few other clips that have helped me over the years. I'll try to send your way, but it's taken me years to try to get because I could never find people that understood that situation, right? But everything you're saying, like today, I'm like, wow, like word for word, I can understand everything you're saying today, which is awesome. Yeah. So, hey, Metro Mix, good to see you. We are going to wrap up too soon, you guys, because I don't want to keep them too long. It's already 12:30 their time, But
Oh, that's not early for us.
yeah. So
It's not.
if you guys have for them, but I want to thank you again for sharing, and I really think that you should share more. Like, I really, really think you should share the story between you two. It's powerful, and I know it's going to help so many people out there. So I encourage you to keep pushing and keep sharing that piece because that's huge, right? And know that you have purpose here.
Yeah.
Like we all have assignments to fulfill, guys. We don't know our next day. We don't even know if we're going to make the next day. And that should be a lesson to all of us that we all have assignments and you should be thinking about your mortality or you should be thinking not just what we do and streaming and following and money and just all these things that honestly don't matter. But like you should really think about, if you only had 1 week to live, like what would you do with your life? What would you want to do? What legacy would you want to leave behind? What would your purpose be? Right? I think you're forced to deal with those questions, especially around mortality when you lose someone. Like, would you say that you had to kind of ask a lot of those questions too for yourselves?
Um, I think it was more the coma that that changed me. Um, there were things that I would put up with before the coma, people that I would put up with before the coma. Once I came to realize how close I came to losing my life, I decided I wasn't going to put up with the crap anymore, not from anybody. Um, so that did kind of like push me in a different direction, um, because life is too short. So, after going through the coma and nearly losing my life, why should I put up with anybody's crap? I don't have to. I don't need to, and I won't. Whether it's in my personal life, whether it's on Twitch, like I don't care. I just won't put up with stupid crap from anybody. I just won't.
Mm-hmm. So that's one big lesson you've learned,
Yeah,
which
most definitely.
is good, and to take risks, right? Let's see here. DJ 101, aka Boa Ninja, says, "Big love for sharing your story in such real terms. You are an inspiration."
Oh, thank you.
UK Web Boy says, "Great show, well worth the wait." Let's see here. I'm just trying to look at these comments. So if you guys have any last minute questions too for Mistress Kush, Blkbeauty70, make sure everyone, oh, here it is. Everyone add them in the room as well. If someone could put up their links, Mistress's Kush link in the chat. I guess it's not running through my stream yards. So if you guys can put their links up in the chat, that would be good. Everyone add them. They've done a lot. Is there anything that you kind of see? I guess, well, we'll start with your life bucket list. I always like asking people this question because I'm always curious what they think. Like, what is their biggest thing if you were to have like a week or a month to live? Like, what would be on that life bucket list for you?
I'd probably do something extreme, like jumping out of an airplane or something like that. Skydiving. But I think mostly I want to travel. I love traveling. So I think that would be one thing I'll do.
Okay, awesome. And most people do say that, eh? They either say something that involves risk, like jumping out of a plane, and they always say also traveling too. But then when you think about it, why can't you do that now? You know what I mean?
It's not me. I want to do it now. It's her.
Oh,
It's
oh,
not.
you want to do it with her? You want to do it with her?
No, I mean she doesn't have to, but I personally want to do it. And it's always no, you're not doing that. No, you're not doing that.
Oh, I see.
I want a motorbike, and the answer is no.
Yeah, I would
Um,
like
so
to.
it's extreme things. No, she's definitely always saying no to
Yeah,
it.
not saying no. Yeah. Well, what about? Yeah,
She's my
that's true. Well, at least you
she's
could
my
travel.
only she's my only daughter.
Oh, that's
Um, I went through a lot to have her. Um, and no, I can't be bearing, her going skydiving or doing something risky and dangerous, and I've got to stand there and watch it.
No, you don't have to watch.
No, but even if I was at home, I'd look at my watch and go, "Oh my God, no!" I'd be a nervous wreck. So no,
You'll be
no,
fine.
no, no. There'll be a time and a place for that, but it's not while Mum is on this earth.
well, maybe you can travel then. Maybe you can travel. That's something you can do, right?
Yeah, you can go and travel. Just
Because
make
what
sure you put
say
GPS
they would
on so I can track you.
yeah,
See,
and
Shaka said I should jump out of the plane with the bike.
I don't think so, Chakra. I don't think so. I don't think so.
No, I
Shaq,
do.
you're not helping. You're not helping. You're
No,
raising
not
the
helping at all,
pressure.
trouble.
You know, Father Damien has a crotch rocket. What is it? A yellow sports bike. I wanted a bike like that too. He's got a bike as well. But I feel like they are dangerous, though. You never know. You
And
know.
my partner, he had a bike when we first met. He had a bike.
Thanks for coming.
He actually hid it from me.
Oh, I think it froze. Oh, we can't hear you. Can you guys hear? And they're freezing too. Can you guys hear?
The Jojo.
Okay, now I can hear you. What did
Okay.
you?
Stop touching.
He had a bike when we first met, but I knew nothing about it. And he came round to see me one night after work, and he was leaving. And as a usual woman, you go to the window to wave him goodbye. And I pulled the curtain back and saw this big yellow shiny metal thing, and watched him get on it. And I actually messaged him and said to him, if we're going to be dating, sorry, you can't be riding that bike. You just can't be. No, just the thought of those things. No.
I'd probably take that bike away. It's a nice big yellow shiny bike. Oh, well, maybe you could travel then. There you go. That's something,
Yeah.
you know.
As long as the GPS is turned on, I'm fine with that,
Why would I need my GPS turned
so
on?
I can track you.
Well, it tracks
She's
everything.
jumping out of the plane.
I could not want my mom tracking me. My mom had like probably ankle bracelets on me growing up. Like, I don't know how she knew. Like, if a guy drove by my place, they would start yelling out my name and singing it, and my mom would crank open the window and be like, "That's my daughter!" Like, or I would tell like an ex-boyfriend to park 10 blocks away from my apartment, and I remember my mom come running behind me. We were both running. I'm like, "Leave me alone! Get lost!" And I literally, she was running for half a block laughing. She's like, "Who are you meeting? Who are you meeting?" So my mom didn't need a tracker like these iPhones today. She always knew where I was. I can't
Yeah,
figure
but mothers just know. They just know. We just have that instinct.
recorded lines, guys. She would always listen to find out what party I went to, where I was listening to music. My mom stalked me. So listen, this is why I turn out the way I did. Don't blame me. It's my mom's fault. So that's why I find it so interesting. You guys are like best friends. I get along with my mom, but like I could never stream with my mom. Like I'd be mortified. My mom would embarrass me online. So the fact that you guys can get together and don't you ever have any embarrassing moments, Mistress Kush, where you're like, "Oh man, I can't believe she said that or did that at all?"
Um, yeah, actually, a couple weeks ago, don't roll your eyes. A couple weeks ago, we were streaming, and I don't know why we were fighting for some strange reason. And she pulled my shorts down while I was at
Did?
the desk.
In the middle of streaming?
Yep,
Okay, firstly, you're not telling Honeyflow the full story
that's
now.
exactly what happened.
No, it's that. What I just took it
No,
Oh
we
my
were
God.
I said we were fighting, and that's what you did.
She kept on hitting me. She has a tendency to keep hitting me. People have seen it in the streams. And I told her to stop hitting me. And she stood there on the decks playing her music, and she kept on looking at me going, why? What are you going to do about it? What are you going to do about it?
Oh.
And I said to her, if you hit me one more time, I swear I'm going to pull your shorts down. And she was like, oh, you wouldn't dare do that. So she hit me again. So I just stood there on the mic, talking away to the chat. And then I put the mic down, and I think I leaned over to act like I went to get something, and I grabbed her shorts. And yes, I pulled her shorts down. Nobody saw anything.
You
But yes,
imagine if someone did? I'd be mortified if someone saw anything.
No, nobody saw anything. No one saw anything. She
What
was
was your
cracking up.
reaction, Mistress? Oh, you didn't care? You're just like, whatever. This is starting to sound like home. What the heck's going on here? What's happening?
You thought it was hilarious?
Yeah, I thought it was hilarious.
Really?
And
No, I wouldn't
obviously I was putting
like
my
that.
revenge at the time.
I'd be like, it's game on right now.
Mm-hmm.
Oh man, yeah, I would not like that because weapons of the camera was like a certain way or
Exactly.
looked a certain way. Like, what are you gonna do?
But I know where it's positioned, and I know you can see what the camera would see if you did anything. So I knew nobody would see anything. But
No, but if I had stepped back, they would have
Yeah.
seen
that would have been your problem. If I pulled your shorts back and you decided, oh, I'm going to step back, that's not my fault. That's on you.
No, but I could have forgotten about the camera and
How
everything.
could you forget when your shorts were at your knees? You can't forget
They weren't
that.
at my knees or at my ankles.
Oh, there you go. So there you go. So you would know.
I would never put my mom on. Are you kidding, Boa Ninjas? Never in a million years. I would pre-record. I called her up saying a lot of people want my mama on my show because she's. If you guys think I'm 1,000 like extra, like 100 times extra, my mom is 10,000 times me extra, and my brother. Like they talk to everyone. You guys think I'm a little off the wall? I'm telling you, my mom is the biggest character. She would be embarrassing. So she said, I still get mortified because she's so unpredictable. I don't know what she's going to do. Like if we go out in public, like my mom's the type of person, she doesn't care what people think. Like she will start a ruckus in a crowd. She doesn't care. You know, I'm the opposite where I'm like ducking. That's why I think your relationship is great, you know? I'm trying to see what Father Damien says. He says, if you said you will pull her pants down as a consequence, you have to keep the word.
Exactly.
Father Damien, what is going on here?
That is very true. You see, you got to keep
And
to that
like,
one.
I need to see the clip. Shaq bad. Forget it. We're not voting there, Boa Ninjas. I haven't even seen your picture, and now you want to see my mama on the show? Forget it. I'm going crazy. No offense to any of the moms out there. Hey, Anna, but until you meet my mom, then you'll realize. You guys would all be laughing, and I would be very upset because, yeah, my mom does crazy things. Maybe I'll pre-record like a 3-minute clip so you can see us together. But it's great you guys have that dynamic. Like, it's great that you guys are so close like that together. Let's see. Boa Ninja says that's my mom to make friends everywhere. Yeah, it's so true.
That's Mistress Kush. That's Mistress Kush. That's her.
That's me. What?
Wherever we go somewhere, you always end up talking to somebody.
Really? I would think it's the other way around. I would think it was you.
No, it's her. It's her.
But she
Like,
seems so quiet, though. Like, she doesn't say anything on the mic.
She just shows you that persona of herself to
Why
make
don't you show me the persona?
Honeyflow believe that she's
Why would I do that to Honeyflow? This is
Yeah.
just me. I'm very quiet. You know, I don't cause trouble. I'm very innocent.
Yeah, I haven't seen anything that you guys are talking about. I don't even know who you're talking about right now. I have not seen the side that you guys keep telling me.
I'd have to video it one day and send it.
It's in her music when she does certain things. You know, that's what I've known. That's where I could say she's a bad gal. Wait. Bad gal. Do I really sound like a ghost? How you doing, Anna? Good to see you as well. Um, yeah, I don't know. That's what I see. But anyway, so if you guys have any very last minute questions, drop them in the chat. We are going to actually raid out soon as well. Is there anyone, actually, I'm trying to see who's on too. Is there anyone that you guys would like to raid out to?
Yeah, your JD. She should be.
Is she on?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Yeah. How is she on for a while? Hopefully.
Yeah, she would be.
No. Okay, good, because I wanted to catch her too. Yo Day. I keep forgetting how to spell the name. Let's see here. Yeah, so if you guys have any last minute questions for them, I'm trying to type this in too. Drop them in the chat. And oh, there it is. Okay, thanks. Yo JD. Thank you, Jen.
Love you, Bumper Queen.
I'm trying to see where she is. There's so many people streaming tonight. Oh, I put G instead of D. Whoops. Yo J G. Oh, wait. Yo J.
I'm going to push up.
J.
I'll push up the J and I'll make the people stop. Stop hitting me.
So, do you guys have anything on, I guess, your bucket list for DJing or streaming? Like if there's anything that you could do, anyone you could work with, you know, anyone you'd like to collab with, anything like that?
No, I don't think so.
No? What about any artists? Do you guys have any music artists that you would love to, like, say you could work with someone? Let's just think big. Could be anyone, you know, that's either here or passed away, like a Michael Jackson or Prince or whatever. Like, is there anyone that you would have loved to meet or work with? If you could pick anyone?
I think Mum would say Spice.
No, I wouldn't. That's
sure?
you. That's you.
What? Spice? Spice?
Love Spice.
Stop lying. Don't
No,
put that
you
on
like
me.
that song? Trying
I
to
thought you meant Spice Girls.
Bro.
Okay, but you're the one that's in love with Spice. It's not
No,
me.
but I'm saying if you ask anyone that's in our stream, they know that, you know, once we raid out and we play a certain song, that's when Mum starts acting up. And that's normally a Spice song.
Okay, but you're the one that.
But you still like it.
Oh, shut up. I would work with Anthony Hamilton. Listen, if you hit me one more time, I'm gonna stop pinching me.
Stop.
He does act a lot. Okay, so UK Web Boy says Janet Jackson.
Oh yeah, Janet Jackson. I love Janet Jackson.
Yeah, she'd be good. And then Unknown says, yes, you're unruly. Yeah, I think Black Beauty's way more unruly than Mistress Kush, but maybe I'm just not seeing what you guys are all seeing. I don't know. Sorry.
Did you really say that?
I love you, but I've seen your unruly behavior when I was in aisle 2 personally myself shopping, and I'm shopping, minding my own business, trying to, attend to the chat, and you guys are playing and saying certain things to me when I'm in aisle 2, just minding my own business, trying to have a bed.
But you heard I played the music.
I played the music.
I had nothing to do with the music.
You say the naughty stuff on the mic.
You tell me what to say.
No, I don't.
Let's say the naughty stuff on the mic. Let's get Father Damien. Let's have confessions.
You talk like this. This is Black Beauty.
Stop hitting me.
Why did you say that?
You play the naughty music and then
After party.
say naughty things on the mic.
She tells me to say it.
No, what? Come on.
You do.
No, I don't.
You play the song and you'll say, "Mum, sing it," and then I sing it.
Hold on, that's a lie. You can even ask Chakra. He won't lie. Ask Unknown Dreamer or UK Web or Jen.
No, Unknown Dreamer lied a little while ago,
No.
so you can't ask her.
When certain songs are played,
We're gonna
says
shove you in
spins on the mic.
Father Damien's room tomorrow. Confession time. We're gonna shove you in his room.
You need to.
Yeah, she needs to go.
All right. So I wanted to thank you guys. Wow, almost 3 hours. Actually, more than 3 hours because we're on Instagram too. So Jen is my ghost. Do I really sound like a ghost? It's a nightmare.
DJ Jen. Do I sound like a ghost? Or do you guys like this voice?
Yeah, I don't think they like it very much. Let me know if you like my echo. I like my echo effect. Excuse me, Jen. But I want to thank you guys for coming on the show and just sharing and being open with everything. I really do appreciate it and sharing more of your story, Black Beauty. It's been a pleasure meeting you guys as well. And yeah, UK Web Boys, like, do we get a part two? I think we will. And you definitely need to push your story out there a lot more. So I'm going to be bugging you on that, Black Beauty. So you better get ready. Maybe you should start writing or speaking it, and you could speak it to text to have it written as well.
It's funny you said that, because Kush has said that to me, and someone else in the stream said that to me a couple of weeks ago.
Yeah, you need to be serious about doing it for real, because you never know where that's going to take off. And even if it's like starting, like I'm going to start an Instagram page, which I'm still trying to, how hard it is. Like, when you're like ready, you may have shared it on Twitch, but then actually posting it on the internet and having it stick there. It's like, sometimes it's hard sharing your story. You may feel like a truck hit you the next day. You may not want to go through that again or rehash all those memories, right? So it does take time, but I would suggest even maybe start off with Instagram, or if you have TikTok, or just doing short little clips, right? Like 3-minute clips. It doesn't have to be long, your whole story, but little clips, little pieces. So it's like a part series. A friend did that, Tara Lee's, recently, and her video went viral to 200,000 people. Within 2 weeks, she got up to 4,000 followers. Like, it's insane. I've been working this Twitch thing for over 2 years and barely up to like 4,000 followers. Within 3 weeks, she was like 4,000 people already. And people are already asking her, hey, can you speak here? Can we help you publish a book? Like, she's now getting requests. And she's like, I'm not a speaker. Like, I'm not a public speaker. I just felt in my heart to share my story. But this isn't exactly what I want to do. So sometimes you do things afraid, right? Like we all do. But I think you're really onto something. You really do have a special, unique story. And it's not meant for you to feel to just carry on in life. Like, I really feel like it's for other people. So really think about it. And maybe those minute clips will be easier to kind of share than sharing like a couple hours, So let me know when your book comes out. You guys, if she has a book, put some ones in the chat. And I'm being serious. I'm not even joking right now, actually. If she published a book, put some ones in the chat if you would purchase it. Definitely put some ones in the chat if you would purchase that book.
Right.
Yeah, definitely put some ones in the chat. So you got to do it. Look at everyone's putting up someone. Chakra, Melissa Dawn, Kush, UK Web Boy said he'd be the first. Bam Bam. Bam Bam says who's doing the book. Well, I'm pushing Black Beauty, saying that she needs to do a book. Now Mistress is putting 2s in the chat. Yeah. So exactly. All right. So we are going to raid out, guys. So make sure you guys stick around. Thank you so much for joining the Honeyflow show. Thank you guys
for coming. For having us.
I know it's super late, and I appreciate you. And let's make sure you guys stick around, support Yo JD, you guys. And we're going to go to her right now. So I'm going to start the raid. And thank you guys for joining us, listening, and just being here for this amount of time, too. We appreciate you. Do you want to say next time you're on as well to them?
Today. Later on today or tomorrow. What time is it?
Kings Unite raid is today. Well, today for us, tomorrow for you. I do believe we're on 6 p.m., isn't it?
6 p.m. Eastern, yeah.
Yeah, 6 p.m. EST.
Okay, BST, right?
11 p.m. GMT.
Yeah, so make sure you guys check them out on the raid. We're going to raid out right now. Thank you again for joining the Honeyflow show, Facebook, YouTube, Twitch, and Instagram earlier. Make sure you guys share that. Add yourselves to YouTube as well. And I'm going to take a few days break, but you guys, I'm sure, will see me in these Twitch streets as well. So thanks for coming through, you guys. Melissa Dawn, Unknown Dreamer, UK Web Boy. We got Bam Bam, Chakra, DJ Jen Jen, everyone that's come through today and have listened. Thank you guys so much. I appreciate you guys. All right, so we're going to raid. I'm going to try doing a few raids, and hopefully that'll work as well. Let's see here. I'm going to try. Yeah, so again, if you guys missed the bus, we're going to Yo JD as well. So let's see here. I hope you guys get some sleep and something to eat too.
We will, most definitely.
Yeah, because you got
early. It's not even 1 o'clock.
Oh wow, not even 1 o'clock.
No, it's not early.
Oh man, you guys are night hawks. Seriously, I'm a little bit too, but not as bad as you guys, that's for sure. All right, do one last raid. Okay, I think that's good. 3 raids. All right, thank you guys again.
Thank you.
Thank you. Love you.
Yes, have a great night, you guys,
And
You too.
definitely be in touch soon. All right.
Okay, no worries.
Take care.
Bye.
Okay. Bye.